I wanted today to be nice and easy and relaxing. It's Friday, the last day of the week. I was up late last night and I was going to drink my coffee, enjoy our conversation, and then rest up for this weekend's many, many shows. But no, not today. I've seen stupidity from Lucasfilm. I've seen stupidity from the shills and the idiot sycophants, and that stuff always annoys me. But nothing, and I mean nothing, enrages me like this new push for a black James Bond. Words can't describe how truly dumb I find this movement. Every time I hear it, I get angrier. It's like there's this secret cabal hell-bent on raising my blood pressure personally. But I'll get more into that in just a moment. So while everyone's filing in, good morning. Welcome to Good Morning Pop Culture. It is Friday, August the 10th, 2018. I think we've been doing this show for about 2 months now. So thanks to everyone who's been sticking with us since the beginning. And as I've said, World Class Bullshitters is just beginning. So we're not stopping anytime soon. So let's see. Good morning to everybody. Cesare Japan, thank you for the first super chat of the morning. I'll start it off. Bond. James Bond. Thank you. That's a good way to start the show. Good afternoon to you too, Musti. Let's see. Morning to you, Jeff the Iron Wolf. Thank you, Karate Stick. Brian Lapis, plugging and tugging. Well, Lape, that's a little personal, bro. So you might want to keep that to yourself unless you want me to share it explicitly here on the channel. Because I gladly will. Other people are working and lurking. You're plugging and tugging. Is your wife cool with that on the air? I hope so. Oh, okay. Sir Ruin of Roundhead. Thank you. Sir Ruin of House of Roundhead. Thank you very much for your early super chat. Doomcock is interested in joining your podcast with Dishonored Wolf and Mauler. He has reached out. Has he reached out to you? I haven't checked the show email, but Doomcock's always welcome, man. So it'll be a 4-man booth. I'll try to work out a time with him. It's set in stone at Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because Mauler is out of the UK. But Doomcock is more than welcome. He's a good friend of the show. He's an insightful guy, very smart. He has a cool voice, too, so it's going to be even more fun. If you think the three of us were going to have a good conversation, well, Doomcock added into the mix just makes it better. So Sir Ruin of House Roundhead, I will make sure to check my emails after the show and get in contact with Doomcock over the weekend so I can have him on. Terry H. wants to know the People's Court story. I will. I'll tell the People's Court story after I read this super chat from Brent Stewart, because that way I can wait till we hit that 200 viewer mark. So Brent Stewart says, Hollywood needs to stop culturally appropriating white people stuff or stop virtue signaling every time they do. Yeah, it would be nice if they stopped virtue signaling. Now, today's episode is going to be a little testier than normal. I'm in a good mood. I love the show. I'm not mad with anyone here. I'm just mad with the stupidity of Barbara Broccoli, Michael G. Wilson, and everyone involved in the James Bond franchise. They haven't made a good creative decision in nearly a decade. Over a decade. I know people like Casino Royale. A lot of people like Chris Stuckman act like it's the best Bond movie. I don't mean to sound like an elitist, but when people say, oh, it's the best Bond movie, I think you've seen 2 or 3 Bond movies. So if your experience is Die Another Day and Casino Royale, of course you're going to say that Casino Royale is the best Bond movie. But unless you've seen all of them, don't come at me with that silly opinion. But yes, it's just trying to gain attention to a series. Last week, we had Henry Cavill in the news saying, hey, I'd like to play James Bond, and I'm all for it. You see, even if we went back to 2005, Jeff at 17 years old, was still like, hey, this Daniel Craig guy doesn't look like James Bond. I'm not sold on a blonde James Bond. And I'm not. People that want to say it needs to be closer to the Fleming writing need to read the goddamn books, because it explicitly states what he looks like. So if you don't want to go with what he looks like in the book, then don't bitch that he's not cold-hearted enough or this or that. I mean, James Bond is supposed to have a scar on his face. Where's his fucking scar at? For everyone that's on the internet saying, oh, Idris Elba's the next James Bond, he's so great, blah, blah, blah. Look, Idris Elba's a fine actor. Heimdall, whatever. Marvel character, you go change that. No, but he's not really important in the grand scheme of popular culture. But James Bond's an institution, and you don't piss on legacy, you don't piss on history, and you're going to piss a lot of people off. The nicest thing about me is people can't use "you're an angry white guy" argument, because I don't like the idea of a black James Bond. I don't like the idea of a black James Bond or a blonde James Bond or a redheaded James Bond or any of that shit. If you're going to follow the books, you're going to follow the books the way he looks too. He's got to have dark hair, a certain height. He's supposed to look like Hoagie Carmichael or David Niven or something like that. Even if Sean Connery doesn't look just like those men, he's close enough facsimile too, as well as George Lazenby and Pierce Brosnan and Timothy Dalton all look like the same type of guy. Tall, dark hair, similar facial structure. So they've always had the James Bond type, and that will always continue. And Henry Cavill could be a nice continuation of that. If they go for that shit. I just hope they kill off James Bond in number 25, and I'll never watch another one of these. I know it sounds like, oh, you're just so angry and raging in the morning. Well, I am pissed. This is stupid. You know, it's cool to we're all passionate about Star Wars, and I am too, but I'm also passionate about James Bond. So I feel like I'd be a hypocrite if I'm going to let some bullshit pass just to for one and not the other. You know, I have this stance about entertainment. These people in Hollywood need to cut down on the garbage and stop trying to talk down to us and preach and worry about real problems. Let's worry about getting your fucking movies out there, Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson. How many years do we need between a James Bond movie? I mean, we're on what? This is year 3. It's going to be 4 years between these movies. I'm not saying you need to pump one out annually, because then the quality declines. But back in the day, they came out every other year, and it was fine. Even up to Brosnan, 95, 7, and 9. And then you had that one odd year with 3 between World's Not Enough and Die Another Day. So instead of sitting around with Anton Fuqua and discussing how the world needs to change through James Bond, why don't you get your shit together and stop kowtowing to a fucking actor like Daniel Craig, who doesn't want to play the role? It's on again, it's off again. Let's get some directors that know how to direct action films, not some auteur bullshit. Let's get this shit rolling in the right direction. I say clean house. Someone buy the rights to James Bond. Fire the producers. Buy Dan Jack. Get rid of all the people involved and start fresh. I can't believe I'm going to say this on air, but Mission Impossible, better franchise than James Bond over the last decade. I enjoyed Mission Impossible 6. I don't even like Tom Cruise as a person. He seems weird and creepy, but he puts out a good product. You know, when I go see a Tom Cruise-led Mission Impossible flick, I know I'm going to get something fun. I know I'm going to get something good. I'm going to get big set pieces. I'm going to get a big epic climax and a finale, a decent villain, and a nice continuation. Bond nowadays, the shit they worry about continuing is so dumb. I mean, I swear to God, Quantum of Solace was a waste of my life. You continued the Quantum story from Casino Royale and Vesper. Okay, fine, we get through that. But we're still with this threat of Emma's his mom, and he's got all these issues. They've done so much damage to try to humanize Bond to a point where he's not a film character anymore. He's just a broken down mess. And that's another thing. Every one of these Daniel Craig movies, he's too old. He's too old. Fuck, you skipped the prime years of the character. Now it's like, well, Daniel Craig's in his almost, what is he, 50 now? He's too old to play 007, and the character's too old. So they're going to try this reboot shit again, and they're going to try to go with Idris Elba, and it's just not going to work. So that was just the opening rant of the show. I apologize to everybody who's waiting for me to pull up the article. I'll get to it in just a second. Yeah, Rimmer, great point. Instead of changing Bond, why not make some spin-off movies? Extended Bond universe. I've been on record. I support making movies with people of every color. I don't think movies need to be a white people medium. But if a character's white in whatever established format they're in, keep them that color. I don't advocate changing any character. Shaft will be black forever. They should never make a white Lando Calrissian. Like Green Lantern, there are multiple Green Lanterns. So if Hal Jordan's not your thing, you got Jon Stewart, Kyle Rayner, Guy Gardner, different hair colors, different colors. The new guy, I believe, is a Muslim version of Green Lantern. Here you go. You never heard me bitch about that stuff. Why? Because it doesn't piss on the legacy of what came before it. I'm pissed off that they ruined Luke Skywalker, and I'll be even more pissed off if they ruin James Bond. So let's see who's here. Good morning to everybody. Thank you to everybody who's been patient. E. Michael, thank you very much for your super chat. E. Michael says, Kevin Hart is Johnny English. Oh my God. Please, just don't. Please don't. Who else did we have pop up at a super chat? The hunky chunky funky monkey. There was a young man named Jeff Shitter who liked limericks and liked to titter. So I thought this time I'd send him a rhyme that wasn't funny and could leave him bitter. Well, I laughed. So I don't know if your limerick failed or succeeded, because now I'm not as angry. I'm just like, oh, okay, this is a show. This is fun. Thank you, though, the hunky chunky funky monkey. I appreciate that. Let's see. Timothy Riggs. He doesn't seem weird and creepy. He is weird and creepy. Oh, okay. Well, I'm trying to give Tom Cruise the benefit of the doubt here. I mean, they might be listening. A lot of trolls in here this morning. Let's see who else we got. Bond is okay to bleed, but if you're right, if they make him too much of a broken mess. Yeah, the one tear he shed for his wife worked in on Her Majesty's Secret Service, and then the next one, he was going after the killers, and he was on a... He choked that lady with her bikini. He threw that guy under the card table. Like, much like a Schwarzenegger character from the 80s, James Bond isn't meant to be a relatable character. He has exaggerated traits, and he's this idealized version of masculinity, but he's not realistic. And we're not really supposed to think about what he does in his off time, because his life is not very exciting. Like, his missions are great, but he's a civil servant. So he probably, like in the books, he sits in an office and does shit, or he thinks about why his life is a certain way. And that's not what you really want to see on film. I think if they would like to make James Bond last the test of time, you got to make him the same and make the world around him different, and it makes it more interesting. Or you go back and make it a period piece, and that way you can, instead of everyone saying, well, why doesn't he just use a cell phone? I think a period piece Bond flick may work better at the end of the day. Now, where were we at? We had a couple more super chats pop up. First off, from the Grand Inquisitor. Thank you very much, the Grand Inquisitor. Good morning, Jeff. What are we talking about today? A big mistake that's coming. Black James Bond. Licardo Guara. Does Idris Elba even want to play Bond, given the backlash he may face? Given what the backlash may be. I've heard Idris Elba talk about not wanting to play James Bond. I think I talked about this earlier in the week, much like Michelle Rodriguez talked about not wanting to play white characters. There will be a backlash, and it wouldn't be Idris Elba's fault. It would be producers' fault for pushing this thing. I don't think he'll play the role. Everyone on the internet, that's the beauty of the internet, is that you can really create movements and make changes. But at the same time, the internet's also dangerous and stupid, because one person says something like Idris Elba is Bond, and then it just keeps getting perpetuated constantly. Or people are saying it and they don't even know much about Idris Elba. They may have seen a picture, or they saw one episode of Luther or something like that. Now, the guy's a fine actor. I'm not knocking his credibility as an actor. Play a different character. Recast Felix Leiter with Idris Elba. It doesn't have to be James Bond. Felix is now black in the book, or the movie. Felix is also black in Never Say Never Again. Felix is also a secondary character, much like Moneypenny, to where those things don't matter. You don't change the main event character because you turn people off. No one's into the James Bond franchise because of Moneypenny, and no one's into the James Bond franchise because of Felix. Hell, Felix isn't even in a good chunk of the movies. He's not in any of the Pierce Brosnan ones, because in License to Kill, he gets his leg bitten off by a damn shark and he retires. So that's the focus. People, if they ever want to ask, what's the difference about these characters and those characters, the main characters are the institutions. You always keep those ones the same. I think you should always keep the side characters the same too, as a nice continuation of what was once before, not trying to change it just to be more modern and hip. Because the people that like these movies will like these movies when the characters are white. But the people that like these movies, also, if you change it and make it something that it's not, you bastardize it. You turn James Bond into The Last Jedi, where Bond throws his Walther and protests instead of, fighting the villains. You just don't have a James Bond franchise anymore. You have something else that doesn't resemble what once was. So, Ricardo, I don't think Idris Elba will play James Bond by his own choosing. And that's the beauty of the real world. We have free will. And Idris Elba probably will just be like, no, thanks, I'm not interested. Because he said he's too old. And by the time we get through James Bond 25 and whatever may come from that, Idris Elba will be, 50? And I mean, now we're getting into old territory. Like, what's keeping him from dusting off Pierce Brosnan? The guy hasn't aged in like 10 years. So why not do that? He was successful. He was a viable Bond. He's one of the most widely viewed Bonds. He was the first Bond to have his movies reach $1 billion, not just a single movie, but still, he was the $1 billion Bond. There's old articles about that. He's the face of many things. I'm not saying you should bring him back, but if you're going to go that old, why not just do a future Elseworld Bond like Logan with Pierce Brosnan? The dude's got the acting chops. It's not his fault that you had shit directors and you still have the same shit producers. And the only reason they're shit producers is because it's nepotism. The father/stepfather bought the rights way back in the day with Harry Saltzman, and that's whose names at the beginning of these movies, Broccoli and Saltzman. Saltzman made a mistake. Broccoli took over in 1977, kept the Bond franchise alive, and now his stupid children are in charge. And that's why James Bond takes, you get one a decade. Whatever. Timothy Riggs, thank you very much for your super chat. If they want to ensure that the character of color or female persuasion isn't accepted and is hated, switching an existing white male character. If they want to ensure that a character of color or female persuasion isn't accepted and is hated, switch an existing male character. Exactly. They don't understand what they're going to do going forward. I mean, next Wednesday, we're going to have a James Bond discussion with our friend American Trent 007, who just saw the entire series as a whole, and I'm going to ask him questions, and we're going to have a good discussion. Kind of like there's a YouTube series. It's like, so-and-so made me watch this. Well, I made Trent go out and watch every Bond flick. And now Trent's a well-spoken guy. He's smart. And he's going to sit down with me, and we're going to have a discussion about the series as a whole and how he looks at it through a 2018 lens, because it's new to him. I grew up with this, so I have a different approach, a different level of appreciation for it. But, yes, just don't. You're going to hurt your cause in the long run. I've never once, ever once, told people that I discriminate in the real world. But I don't discriminate in the fake world either. There is no fake world. The point is, don't do it. Don't change it. You're going to hurt people. And I'm not going to go see this movie. I'll complain about it, but I won't go see it. If Idris Elba or anyone that's not a redheaded James Bond, I'm going to veto too. So let's not forget those things. Why not do a full switcheroo? Have a white Black Panther James Bond. Racist one way, but not the other. Chelly Roberts, Black Bond girl sues for child support. Oh, damn. that's kind of harsh. That's kind of harsh, but I dig it. I dig it. It's early. I need something to make me laugh. Why not a female Black Bond? Why not? Oh, yeah, because Proud Mary didn't work. So no matter what you try to take your agenda and how you try to package it, it doesn't work. It's like none of these people claiming to be Bond. It's like none of these people claiming to be Bond fans paid attention to Skyfall. James Bond is a white Scottish man. Elba could be a character assigned the 007 call sign, but he can't be James Bond. First off, thank you, the Grand Inquisitor, for your very generous super chat. Yes. See, Skyfall did a couple things right. It put to bed the James Bond codename theory. I know a lot of people out there on the internet like to think, oh my God, this codename theory. Oh, I see the dots. I'm connecting them in my mind. These movies are way deeper. They're different. No. I've gone on at great lengths, and I'll say it one more time. It's the same dude. And Skyfall put that to bed. Go watch it. You learn about his parents. You see their gravestones. I think their names are Andrew and Monique Bond. And then she's Swiss, and he's Scottish. They lived at Skyfall. We know it's not a code name. We met the butler, or not the butler, the groundskeeper, all that shit. They've gone to great lengths to make sure that the codename theory died, because it's a stupid theory. It makes people read into the movies the way that the movies aren't presented. I have met many people that tell me, it doesn't matter, it's a code name anyway. It's not. Your fake shit perpetuates problems for the James Bond series. Now, the James Bond series is a little different too. It can go away and no one will really... there won't be a hole felt by the lack of a James Bond series anymore. And that's coming from like the biggest Bond fan you'll ever meet. The world's in a different place with superhero movies and just other things that are popular, adaptations of other things. With James Bond, he's been around for so long that you're going to alienate people that one, have supported it all these years, and two, will find it interesting down the road. It'll be sad if Idris Elba plays Bond and it's remembered as the one with the black actor as Bond, and then that's it, and they go through with it, and then they brush it aside real quick. Because they'll tell you, oh, he signed for a 5-picture deal or a 3-picture deal, or he's coming back in the sequel. Then he bows out and quits like that. Like, it's not an experiment that's going to end well. Just don't mess with James Bond. Give Idris Elba anything else. The dude can act in what he wants to act in based on any other character that's new and fresh and exciting. Just don't alter Bond. It's stupid. So, yeah, Proud Mary and Atomic Blonde were bombs. It's like, there's some secret society that's like, hey, we need to make these female action things a hit. What are we going to do? Well, we make all these unique individual ones, and nobody went to see them. And they came out at different times of the year, too. So it's not like, well, one was winter and one was summer, and neither of them were hits, like huge hits. I think Proud Mary was a failure. Remember, folks, the movie business is a business, not a club where it's like, hey, look what we did. We had this version first. No. Realistically, it's like, yo, my movie made $1 billion at the box office. Well, you guys get what I'm saying. Let's just get rid of this shit. Black Panther played by Bill Burr. I am 100% behind that one. Ugh. This coffee cup is Bond. Voorhees67, thank you for super chat. Broccoli is a stupid name. Thoughts on Texas Chainsaw? EVS blindly loves all the movies. He's wrong. Which is worse, White Lando or Panda Lando? Let me break down your question. First off, broccoli, his family name is where the broccoli vegetable comes from. There's documentaries on this. I'm not just making this shit up. That's one thing. If you guys want to become, if you're interested in the James Bond movies and you'd like to know a lot, what you need to do is get the Blu-ray set and watch all the documentaries that come on each movie. They were produced in the late 90s, so they're a little older, but the information's the same. It's all the truth. So you get to see all the people involved, and you can see the care and preparation and respect that was put into the Bond series before the modern era. Thoughts on Texas Chainsaw? Well, I know EVS hates Halloween. I don't really like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The first one's okay. The second one's dumb. And then I haven't seen I have seen the other ones. I don't like them. The Jessica Biel one was an afternoon wasted. And then the newest one with Alexandra Daddario, while she's very, very beautiful, is a bad film. So I don't love those movies at all. Leatherface can go fuck himself. He's wrong. Which is worse, White Lando or Panda Lando? Panda Lando is just weird. They're both wrong. That's the thing. They're both wrong and bad decisions. I just think Panda Lando perverts the character. He was a slick ladies' man. Hello, what do we hear and all that shit. He kisses her hand. See, that to me is just as bad as changing Bond's color or making Captain America a woman or something like that. Just, there's a reason these characters stand the test of time. There's a reason why you can put out a Bond video game or a series of action figures based off 50-year-old movies and people eat them up. There's a reason all this shit happens. It's really not a hard thing to make James Bond popular. It's but it's even harder to it's easier to fuck it up too. I don't know. Just stop fucking it up. Let's see. The Grand Inquisitor, thank you very much for your generous super chat again. By late 90s not being modern, I mean, it's not in high def and it's, full screen crop. So people are going to bitch about that. Oh, it's not in HD. Well, it wasn't filmed in HD. Grand Inquisitor, though. Why not make a series of films about another MI6 00 agent? Have Bond pop in to play second fiddle to the new 00 agent on a specific mission. It'd be better for the franchise as a whole. See, now that's a compromise I could come to and agree fully. Bond is off doing his own thing, and then Idris Elba comes in and you give him a different score. He can still like, the ladies and have the nice suits and the cars and shit. there are other 00 agents. They're seen in the movies. Agent 009 is killed in Octopussy. We see all the 00 agents in Thunderball. 006 Trevelyan, the one that's everybody knows from the video game, is another 00 agent. I'm fine with that, Grand Inquisitor. Like, I don't think that you have to alter Bond. You can just have other characters in the world and make them work. I don't think the new Moneypenny works, not because of the color of her skin, but because of the relationship. Even though, see, GoldenEye touched on it better back in the day when Bond comes into the office at night and he's like, Moneypenny, you look great, or whatever. She was out on a date. She's like, I don't sit at home waiting for James Bond. And, this could be sexual harassment. That was a nice, funny play. But then later on, they get back to the classic stuff about, the story of our relationship, close but no cigar, and all this crap. There's just so much stuff that pay respect to the old shit and then expand and create other new stuff in the realm. The Bond franchise, it won't survive being bastardized. Look at Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters didn't survive past one movie. Bond will also not survive past one movie. The goodwill of the people isn't enough to keep the movie alive. You have to impress them and entertain them. So I'm with you 100%, Grand Inquisitor. I support that idea. Rugis, thank you very much, Rugis. Idris Elba stars in James Da Bomb. Hell, dude, it's going to be a bomb if Idris Elba's 007. That's going to be... James Bond playing second fiddle, though. Let's be fair. James Bond wasn't the focus of the novel The Spy Who Loved Me. So if you know about that, you know that this isn't actually anything new. Fleming himself wrote that book in, 50 or 61 or something. I really don't know the order of the books. I have them all, and I've read them, but I don't know the order of every book. But it's, he doesn't pop up into a story till later on. I'm okay with that. From Russia with Love, James Bond doesn't pop up until about 20 minutes about 17 minutes into the story, too. That's one of the shorter Bond flicks. So you could have that. If it's to save the James Bond character, I think that's a smart move to make him, put him in the background just to save him and then bring him back later. Jonathan Rhys-Meyers would do okay. I don't know who that is. I'll have to look him up. Timothy Riggs, thank you very much for your very generous super chat. SJW Flex refused to accept the movies with females or people of color. Spies are failing because these idiots writing them can't write a decent script. They lack talent and shove ideology into it. Yeah, very true. Those movies aren't finding an audience because I think the people that make them are like, hey, we have a black female in an action role and we've done all of our work. Now let's just sit back and count our money and get all the pats on the back. Like, that's how those people think. It's not them, worried about the script. Does this make sense? Are there plot holes? You don't have anyone poring over these things and making sure that every detail works, or most of the details, or the spectacle's there, or something cool and unique. Like, the more I think about it, Spectre, while it got some of the tone of Bond right, it was a little long, but they did different things that were cool. Like, for the first time, you saw M proper on a mission with Bond in the fight. That was different. You saw Q on a mission in the fight. They did little different things like that. And Moneypenny is a field agent, shit like that. I'm okay with changes like that. In many ways, you kind of expanded Bond to a very small team, like an impossible team. Or IMF Force is what they're called. Well, no, F stands for Force. It's like ATM machine. It's, redundant. Point is, I'm cool with stuff like that. But you always, focus on the star at the end. Cesare Japan. How about James Bond Jr., 003.5 film? Can we not do the 003.5 version, 003.5? Can we do the cartoon version, live action, with Corey Burton as a 45-year-old James Bond Jr.? I actually have no clue how old Corey Burton is, so I apologize. EVF starred in the pie that shagged me. I think he shagged the pie. Live action Lupin, yay or nay? I haven't seen it, and I don't know if I want to. I'm actually kind of one of those people that I have like specific voice actors I like for Lupin the Third. So, Magic Bullocks, thank you very much for your super chat. Jeff, do you think the reason diversity is being shoehorned into every film now is because it's easy for them to dismiss criticism as an ist or ism. Probably 100% the reason. Well, let me take back. I think it's 60% that, and maybe the other 40% is people like feeling good about themselves. Like, I know J.J. Abrams is a hack, but in his sick and twisted mind of rehashes and Steven Spielberg ripoffs, he thinks that he's doing good in the world. I think there's this there's this thing we learned about in college called doing well by doing good. And I think J.J. Abrams thinks he's doing the world a service by pushing the way he did for The Force Awakens. Remember when he talked about, I was at the Oscars and it was a room full of white people, that speech? Him talking about that, I think in his heart, he believes he's doing good. So while I do think it's mostly the people being able to dismiss criticism, like Ghostbusters, they tried that shit with The Last Jedi. They always try this shit. But I do think the people behind it, as stupid as they are, misguided as they are, probably have convinced themselves that they're doing the right thing, that they're on the right side of history, and that they're helping the world through their art. Now, a lot of lower end stuff will probably hide behind the ist or ism argument a lot more. Well, no, I can't say that. Star Wars pulled that shit out. Look at The Last Jedi. Let's look at The Last Jedi. I mean, why wouldn't Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson not look at the fan backlash of that? Do they think that it's just Star Wars fans? No, it's fans of established things. If DC will never do a black Batman flick. They're too smart for that shit. They know about the Batman fan base. You have almost 80 years of history with Batman. What is it? Batman turns 80 next year. So 79 years of Batman lore. He's always looked the same. He's been the same. I've never met any kid of any color or adult that doesn't like Batman because he's white. Dion's black, loves Batman. I'm not white, I love Batman. Nick loves Batman. Everybody, my grandma, yeah, she is white. She's old too. She loves Batman. You don't change what works. You don't change established characters at all. Black Superman won't work. Black Spider-Man, like Peter Parker, won't work. I don't think Miles Morales works. It's stupid and pointless. And to prove my point, why are they doing a Miles Morales movie under the guise of Into the Spider-Verse so they can sell you classic Spider-Man and Spider-Gwen and all these new characters that aren't that good? You got to put them on the back of the main draw. It's like in wrestling. Yeah, these undercard guys aren't a big deal, but The Rock brings people in, so they're going to be able to push the other people. Same with Spider-Man. Let's just go and watch a movie that's nothing but heavy hitters and knock it out of the park. So thank you, Magic Bullocks. That's a very good point to make. I appreciate that. Sorry, these are rolling in quick. The chat's moving kind of fast. Rugis, EVS stars in a new Bond film. The pie is not enough. I agree. Now, is the finale like him trying to eat a pie? So like what is like his wife the villain where she's trying to put away the pies forever, but Ethan's gonna like build a pie that's the size of the moon and he's gonna eat it? That's the movie. It's like Moonraker, but Pie Raker. Cherry. The Pui. Thank you, the Pui, for your very generous super chat. Morning, Jeff. You missed my super chat. Good job, LOL. Well, Pui, hold on. Let me go back. Let me pull out that special window so I don't forget, because I feel bad when I do. You know what it's like? One man show in the morning. I get rolling, and before you know it, it's it's 10 o'clock, and you gotta jump off the air so you can go get your car worked on. So let me find what you said to me, the Pui. As always, thank you. And here we go. New window. Close YouTube. All right, so the Pui. Sorry, Pui. For the greater good, Jeff. The greater good. I love Hot Fuzz. I'm glad you told me about this one because I can think about a British film that I enjoy. I did see that Simon Pegg trailer, by the way. And is it wrong that I'm a little angry with him for what a hypocrite he is? Just saying. I'm just saying. But again, Pui, thank you for both your super chats. I appreciate it. Timothy Riggs, pound the Muff button, fellow Muff Army members. Oh, Timothy Riggs, I forgot you remembered the Muff Army from last night. You're here on everything. Thanks, dude. Thanks to everybody who's here right now. There's a really good turnout. Almost 400 viewers. So double what is required to get me to start the main event. And You know, I've been kind of on a tangent already. Not even a tangent, a little rant. I've been a little ranty this week because entertainment has been a lot stupid this week. And I will always call out their stupidity and their hypocrisy. I just can't stand the bullshit that's going on in Hollywood. It's going to take a group of individuals to go out and make their own entertainment with good characters that's going to capture the minds and imaginations of people, and it's going to put the old shit to rest. EVS, Toe Finger. All right, that's his song. Toe Finger. I'm not going to sing. Ranty Jeff is good. Thank you, Jaron Ricewig. I appreciate that. Ring their necks, Jeff. See, I can't get violent. I can't even get angry in person with people because they'll think I'm going to like hurt them because of my size. So I have to just play it calm and cool and, you know, trick them. Voorhees 67. Thank you. The crew of these garbage movies have their heads outside of their asses. Story's not their concern. They get a front row seat to the train wreck and laugh. Do you think people take pleasure in ruining these franchises? I think people like Amy Pascal in 2016 was sitting back in her office at Sony going, oh, look at these angry men on the internet. Look at all these thumbs down. We're going to make so much money, girl power. And then your movie is an embarrassment and a flop. And Female Ghostbusters is a case study in failed gender swapping. Gender swapping doesn't work. It's not funny. It's not a joke anymore. Much like when a dude dresses up as a chick or a chick dresses up as a dude, like that joke just doesn't work anymore. We've seen it so many times. Martin Lawrence did it almost 20 years ago, and it barely worked then. Like, to me, Mrs. Doubtfire is one of the last times where, you know, a guy dressed up as a woman and it was funny. And then that episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where Sweet D dresses up as, what's his name, Mr. Covington. It's like a Mr. Belvedere parody. That's the only time I found that one funny. The last time I found a woman dressed up as a dude funny. Maybe they just do take pleasure in destroying it. But the people above them who want the money, who want streaming services to be viable, who want all of these future revenue streams to keep rolling in constantly, well, they can't do that. You can't look at just because you have a small group of people on the internet that say what a great idea Black Bond is. Like, you have this group of writers that will constantly promote this. Your average everyday American or citizen is just going to be like, James Bond isn't a black dude. James Bond isn't this. James Bond isn't that. And you can't call everyone across the world a racist for not embracing that. It wouldn't work if they did it with Captain America. Like, if Bucky or Falcon took up the mantle of Captain America and they made it the next movie, it probably would make less no matter which one took it up. And I like both of those characters quite a bit. I actually like the Falcon more. It's weird how I feel, even though Bucky and Cap grew up together back in the 30s and 40s, I kind of feel that the friendship between the Falcon and Cap is better realized on screen. But that's a topic for another day. Matches burn. Mundane Matt gunned himself last night. See Twitter. What'd he do? I thought we, I thought everything was cool with Mundane Matt. I don't think he probably didn't mention us because there's no beef or anger towards us. So I haven't heard about Matches burn. Let me know what he did. Just curious. I'm not going to, get into internet drama and cause, have shots fired and start another geek war or something like that. I'm not into that kind of stuff. I've never seen New Battlestar Galactica, so I can't talk about that. They get pleasure in ruining it for the evil men who established their franchise to begin with, says Tom. Well, Tom, here's the thing about Bond. So Barbara Broccoli hates her father. I don't know their relationship. I don't know how he was every day, but her father started the franchise with Harry Saltzman in 1962 with the premiere of Dr. No. I mean, it's a spiteful thing. Maybe Kathleen Kennedy was jealous of George Lucas's success and he didn't always respect her. Like, she probably remembered the shit he said at the Christmas party one time in 1992 or some shit like that. And she's still holding on to that. But with Barbara Broccoli, I mean, her dad was a rich multimillionaire movie producer, and you didn't really try too hard to get on things. Same with Michael G. Wilson. He didn't really have to work too hard to get on that. So both ways, nepotism's garbage. And I don't know why they'd want to kill what their father/stepfather established. Bond was doing just fine. The critics didn't like Die Another Day, nor did I. But you know what? The critics didn't like a lot of Bond movies before that, and they came back with the next one, and they went strong, and they didn't have to burn it all down and start fresh and destroy and basically shit on what came before it. Let's see, a lot of things popping up. Coyote, just other 007s. Oh, so he made a racist joke video that got found out. When people talked about it, he tried to take down the video by flagging them. Now he's saying on Twitter, I have problems. I'm seeking help. Oh, okay. Whatever happens with that. I'm not the moral police. I'm not going to tell Mundane Matt anything. Whatever happens with that situation happens. That's all on him. I'm not involved. But I'm glad I know about it. So at least when people ask me questions, I can say, oh, that happened. I'm not involved. I thought Tomorrow Never Dies was the best 007 Brosnan film. Tomorrow Never Dies is a very underappreciated movie. Yeah, there are technical issues. Not even technical issues. Yeah, there are a few issues about the movie, and it was very much made in the late 90s. But that movie actually has a lot more to say about today's society than people want to give it credit. Like, you guys listen to me, and you know me pretty well in what I would suggest. Don't listen to Rotten Tomatoes when it comes to Bond flicks. There are certain Bond movies that Rotten Tomatoes thinks are shit, but they have moments of greatness in them. Tomorrow Never Dies. Yes, Elliot Carver, played by Jonathan Pryce, is a little over the top in terms of performance, but his goal and his message to alter the news and make history, fake news and stuff, he actually is like really relevant in 2018. That's the Bond movie I think everyone should go out and watch, because his plan is so real and scary. It's what we're living in now. He's like an old Zuckerberg, if you will. If this Zuckerberg was like pure evil. So watch Tomorrow Never Dies. I think Tomorrow Never Dies is a good film. It used to be one of my favorites. It's top 10 for sure, but not, top 5, definitely. Tomorrow Never Dies. I prefer Gold. I do prefer Goldeneye. Goldeneye might be my favorite 007 flick, and it wasn't my first one. I know a lot of people say, well, your favorite one's always your first one. First one I saw was Goldfinger, and I love Goldfinger. But Goldeneye, you can go back and watch it, and there's a lot of layers to it, and I find it enjoyable. And I'll still watch it to this day. Every time I get a new TV, that's the first movie I test the TV out with is Goldeneye. Reed Palancha, thank you very much. Just saw Mission Impossible Fallout, another success by keeping the same format of the franchise. Throwing out a franchise format for something totally different makes it hard to sell. Well, Reed, I'm with you on the it makes it hard to sell. I knew what Simon Pegg was going to be. I knew what Ving Rhames was going to be, and I liked it. I like the chemistry of the IMF. You know what you're going to get, and that's not always a bad thing. It's like your mom's going to make your favorite meal. So my mom makes stuffed peppers. You're going to get tomato and meat sauce. Maybe she changes the spice a little bit so it's good, but it's still the thing you love. Mission Impossible, thankfully, they don't rely on modern, like whatever's popular in 2018 to sell that movie. Tom Cruise is going to give you a big stunt done for real. You're going to get a fairly long movie that has tons of action, a good chase, lots of running. Like, that's the only time I looked over to Dan. He was with me, and I was like, how far do you think Tom Cruise is running this movie? He just looked at me and goes, lots. So when he outran the sandstorm, I think that's the only moment in Mission Impossible that I was like, what? But by that same accord, what was that? Number 4, where all the cars fell in the garage. Like, there were so many cool things. There's great action set pieces. Bond movies are just trying to take themselves too seriously. Like, they want to win an Oscar with a James Bond flick, and that's not going to happen. Danny Boyle be damned. They're not going to win an Oscar for a James Bond movie. The popular movie category at the Oscars is nice in theory, but it's 2 years too late because Black Panther ain't going to win an Oscar, 5 years after it came out. They just have to get over that fact. These movie studios are looking for an Oscar to add credibility to their name, but look at Marvel Studios. They have some technical Oscars and stuff like that, but the fans love them, and those movies make bank. And that's what matters with these movies to these producers. They make bank. Mission Impossible is doing well. That format works. I like the format, and I like that it has callbacks, like his wife shows up, and the villain from Part 3, who looks just like Ryan Johnson, shows up, and those things. respect to what you make is important, because when you respect it, the audience respects it. And when there's more, people will rush out to see it right away. I did with Mission Impossible. And not every Mission Impossible has been that great. Number 2, not that great. Number 3, I don't remember liking it too much, but I've liked the other ones a lot. I think my favorite's still number 1. But Reed, I'm glad you went out and saw that. I recommend everybody go see it. It's just a fun time. And if everyone goes and sees that movie, you'll get more of those big action. Like The Man from U.N.C.L.E., I thought was underrated. Was it the best movie ever? Far from it. But it didn't deserve to flop the way it did. It was fun. It was different. And if you watch that, you'll see why I think Henry Cavill should be 007. Just saying. Bean Adder says Jeff should be James Bond. WCBS 007. While I would love to own the cars and the suits and the watches and stuff like that, couldn't be James Bond. Like if I was an actor, I'd be like, I don't look the part. Yeah, I'll be in the movie. I'll play the bad guy or something like that. Or 004, whatever his name would be. But I'm really like into the character being a certain way. And there's nothing wrong with it. You want Peter Parker to look the same way. Superman should look the same way. It's just how it is. Old Zuckerberg, Jeff, robots can't age. I was not aware of that. Oh, Timothy Riggs, you like Diamonds Are Forever? Ew. A lot of talk about Tom Cruise. Yeah, I mean, I got respect for him. Let's see. Somebody said I missed a super chat. From Jaron Ricewig. Here we go. Imagine if a white guy played a black character. Oh, you mean like in Tropic Thunder? I know who I am. I'm a dude playing another dude. I love that movie so much. But yeah, with today's outrage culture on the internet, everyone would be so pissed off. It would just cause a lot of problems. And I don't think you need to go to that extreme unless you're trying to make a point that it's hypocritical to do it the other side. Let's just get off of this whole moral high horse about, it's okay to take these characters one way but not the other. If you need to write a character that could be male, female, black, or white, you take the Alien approach, where you write the characters as just by name and you don't talk about their gender or their race. And then you cast anyone, and then if they're good enough, like Sigourney Weaver, great as Ripley. Ripley could have been a dude, Ripley could have been a chick. You throw in Ellen, it's a chick, and there you go. But Jaron, I don't think they're gonna there's a hypocrisy in Hollywood, especially on the internet, in terms of entertainment reporting. Those entertainment reporters are really just fucking terrible. I wish those people would just Thanos snap and they just disappear from existence. Rocket Ship, best Bond, Connery, Brosnan, Craig. I have Connery and Brosnan tied for my favorite, and then I go Dalton Lazenby, Moore, Craig. I hate Daniel Craig as James Bond. I hate Roger Moore as James Bond too. See, Roger Moore and Daniel Craig have great moments, but overall, their movies are ones I just don't ever need to watch again and again and again. Andy, you may have won this one. EVS, Piefall. Oh my god, I should actually write lyrics to Piefall and then perform that at Star Wars Celebration, because I don't write songs about butter, but I could write songs about pie on the piano. I could play something for you guys. Idio Hugima says, just like James Kirk isn't black and Benjamin Sisko isn't white. Exactly. And I've never met Star Trek fans that shit on that captain because he's not white. It's just not, I've never heard somebody bitch about Janeway because she's a woman. It's just not how people are anymore. Maybe in 1935 or something. Or when 39, when the not Sound of Music, the Gone with the Wind came out, stuff like that. There were different times, but we're kind of past that. We're angering people to a point with these weird changes and pushes for ideology that's going to make people kind of backlash against that stuff, and it could cause problems down the road. It's like, look, I don't have any racism towards people at all. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. Like, if I don't care if the firefighter's black, the doctor's a woman, the person making a milkshake is from. I just don't care. It's all about, you judge people the way they treat you and stuff like that. And with movies, if they're brand new characters, like if The Rock was in a movie, if The Rock played James Bond, for as much as I love Bond, I'd be bitching up a storm. Rock is too big. He's Samoan, in part black. and is bald and has tattoos. Things James Bond does. Well, Sean Connery has a tattoo on his arm, but he's so hairy you can't see it. You probably didn't know. So yeah, just don't change for the sake of change. It hurts my soul. It hurts my heart. Oh man. So I guess I should pull up the article. I don't know if I really want to pull up the article. I feel like I've said so much to say. The Man from Uncle Ethan. Oh man, I like that one. Dalton is my favorite Bond. Most Bond-like and a Welshman. In an alternate reality, I would have had Dalton play. Thing is, I like Goldeneye, and the Brosnan era is my era. So I don't want to change that. But I would like an alternate reality where Dalton started earlier and played up, through whatever. Like, they offered Dalton the role back in the day, but he said he was too young. So I wish Timothy Dalton would have taken the role as a younger actor playing Bond in 73. We don't have the Roger Moore era, and we keep it cooler, and then we take it to Brosnan in 95. Let's see. How would you feel about Tim Burton directing a third Batman movie with Michael Keaton as an older retired Batman? That'd be cool. It'd be a nice finale to that. You could make the Batman trilogy of Batman, Batman Returns, and Batman Retires, or whatever the fuck it would be called. That's an excellent. I think it's a good idea. Maybe Tim Burton should do a Batman Beyond flick with Michael Keaton as old Batman, and then Tim Burton's weird style mixed with like a futuristic style, because remember, it's the future of that Gotham world. If that Gotham looks like that in 1989, how would it evolve? It wouldn't evolve like our future. It would evolve like a different future. So that might be a really cool design choice. No Roger Moore, Jeff. The man with wooden delivery. Roger Moore is... Look it, folks. Tomorrow, if you're a patron, on Saturday morning, I'm putting out the Spy Who Loved Me commentary. For as much as I love Bond, it is hard to get through the next couple. Moonraker's bad. I love For Your Eyes Only. I hate Octopussy, and I really enjoy View to a Kill for what it is. Roger Moore, I mean, I was genuinely sad when he died. He's the Bond actor that I wanted to meet because he seemed like the nicest, most genuine and funny guy. Connery seems like an old curmudgeon. Even if he's old, even if I met him like back when he was younger, he seemed like a curmudgeonly old dude. Brosnan seems nice and approachable. I wouldn't even want to talk to Daniel Craig. And T. Dalt, well, I don't really have much to say outside of Hot Fuzz. I'm a slasher of prices and shit like that. But Roger Moore seemed like such a great guy. He was a humanitarian. He did all kinds of nice stuff for people around the world. He just is not my favorite Bond. Ugh. Christopher Walken was in Bond and Batman. That's true. He was Max Zorn of View to a Kill and Max Shrek. He was a lot of Maxes. Max is his best villain name. Who else was a Bond? His name's Julian Glover. You guys may not know his name, but the guy that plays General Veers in The Empire Strikes Back, not only was he in The Empire Strikes Back, he was in For Your Eyes Only as a Bond villain. He was also Walter Donovan in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. So you want to talk about an actor who's been a bad guy in like 3 really iconic series. I think Julian Glover might take the cake for the best franchises that he's appeared in. Maref Deoline, thank you very much. Morning, Mr. Shitter. Ordered the Bond box set, waiting for it to be delivered. Ooh. If you would like to email me, I'd like you to, unless you've seen all the movies, it's a different thing, but let me know what you think about the box set, depending on which one you got. I mean, I have the 50th anniversary one, which is a great one. It's the same discs as the newer version too. But I'm glad you're getting them. It's nice, at least for me, every Christmas, maybe not this year because of the show and stuff, but usually around Christmas, I like to sit down and do all the Bonds marathon style. Now, obviously, I can't do it in a day, but I'll do 3 or 4 a week and try to get through the whole month of December watching Bond flicks. And yeah, I do skip Moonraker and Diamonds Are Forever, but maybe this year I'll be different. I'll do them all. Maybe not. But thank you, Maref Dealy. Thank you for all your limericks. Thank you for all the love you've shown the channel. And have a good time with those Bond Blu-rays. Seriously. Sit back, watch GoldenEye, and have some fun. Okay, Maref Dealy, you got the 50th anniversary one. So you and I have the same box set. Those books that are in there are kind of nice. They're a little hard sometimes to get the disc out without putting a smudge on it. But hopefully your Blu-ray player has a better laser than mine because I'm using the PlayStation 4. And it's, let's see who else. No Moonraker for me yet. I can't do Moonraker. It's so dumb. And you know what's sad? It's the next commentary. I may actually throw a bitch fit and not not do it. I'm going to. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, we have Clarence Beeks in the chat. Give it up for Clarence Beeks. Press muff if you know who Clarence Beeks is. Now, Mr. Beeks, I'll be expecting that crop report by Wednesday. Just saying. What are the 3 best Bond movies of all time? For me personally, because there's a difference. If I'm going to suggest 3 Bond flicks that you watch, they're different from my favorite Bond flicks. So I'll give you my top 3. My favorite Bond flicks are GoldenEye, From Russia with Love, and On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Majesty's Secret Service. Those are the 3 Bond flicks that I think everyone should watch, or based on my point of view. Now, if you're trying to get people into Bonds, I say you show them Goldfinger, GoldenEye again, and then probably a Craig one, like a Skyfall or something. But don't show them the Craig one first and then go back. I always say if you start at the beginning and you work your way up so people can see how the movie's evolved, and you don't show them something new and then show them something old and then they're like, this is boring. No, you got to see how the Bond series evolved. 4G67, thank you very much. Timothy Dalton's my old boss's neighbor. Her dogs would always hop his fence and shit in his yard. Apologizes many times. Not the best way to meet 007. I wish James Bond was my neighbor. Like, if I was neighbors with Pierce Brosnan, I'd be like the best/worst neighbor because I don't really do loud music and I don't have pets, so I wouldn't have those problems. But if I saw him outside, I'd probably be like, yo, Jimbo, and wave to him and ask him about gardening and shit. And the shtick would get old, but I would just go back in the house and chuckle. That's the kind of guy I am. All right, lots of muff, lots of love for our friend Clarence Beeks. Yeah, I saw the new General Veers from the Black Series. Yeah, they're doing much better. Now, speaking of Black Series and Star Wars toys, guys, people have been requesting that I go back to do solo videos and stuff. Just for the record, I haven't stopped doing solo videos. I've been putting them out. They haven't been hitting because of the YouTube algorithm. So if you'd like to help us fight the bullshit that we're going through with YouTube, make sure that today at 11:30 you check out the new video. It's a Star Wars toy video titled The Star Wars Graveyard, Where the Force Goes to Die. And I'm not going to tell you any more about it. You got to watch it. It's a nice, concise video. It's got a great title card. I showed it last night. And if you want more of those, just do me a favor, watch the video, share it, let everyone know that we haven't given up on the single daily videos. They just, YouTube's not helping us out. So there we go. Let's see. Met Mr. Moore and his girlfriend/later wife Kiki at a cocktail party at a friend's father's held once. Wish I could say we had a long chat, but I got to say hi at least. Oh, that's cool, man. See, you got to meet Bond and the one that's no longer with us. I'm a little jealous. I'm a lot jealous. Fuck, man. I want to meet James Bond. Yes, I remember the 2 Bond flicks with Sheriff J.W. Peppa. Live and Let Die and The Man with the Golden Gun. I like Live and Let Die. I don't like The Man with the Golden Gun. I think Man with the Golden Gun is one of the absolute worst Bond flicks. And if you listen to the commentary that we did the other week, you'll notice how disinterested and, quite frankly, sleeping I was during the commentary. Okay, lots of muff, more muff. You can never get enough muff here on World Class Bullshitters. Thank you to everyone who's spreading the muff. That was way dirtier than I wanted it to sound. Let's see. Roger Moore happily took the piss out of himself. Said he had 2 emotional ranges, eyebrows up and eyebrows down. I agree 100% about that, with Roger Moore having 2 emotional modes. Anyone out there seen Alan Partridge about the Steve Coogan show when he talks about Roger Moore coming on this show? Fucking love it. Oh, hey, Trent. Good morning, Jeff the Muff Muncher. By the way, folks, tonight, just to give you guys a heads up, this is actually a pretty big weekend for World Class Bullshitters, so make sure you got the time. Tonight, we're watching American Psycho with our friend, patron, and 6th bullshitter, Trent. He's a good dude. He picked a great movie. So we're going to be talking about American Psycho as well as the 80s pop culture, how they go back through the lens of modern day and make shit based in the 80s and stuff. So there's going to be a lot of stuff we talk about. We'll talk about the differences in the book And I'd like to hear your guys' take on that as well. Then tomorrow, we're doing double duty. Yeah, I'm saying double doo-doo butter here on the show. We're watching some Star Wars fan flicks with our friend and Patriot. And yeah, Patriot. I will say Patriot. American Army vet Rod. He's a good dude. He's got some stuff lined up. We have guests. We may have Ivan Ortega again, but we have professional comic book artists and people that have been in the film industry joining us. We're going to be watching those fan films, breaking it down. And then tomorrow night, 11:30, it's our monster show. We're watching The Thing, John Carpenter's 1982 classic. So if you guys are thinking about doing something this weekend, don't. Get yourself some beer, turn on your video game system, and just sit back and listen to us as we talk about The Thing and Star Wars fan films and American Psycho from American Trent. Adam Wofford, thank you very much for your super chat. The Crouching Smoke, Hidden Muff. Does it have to be a hidden muff? Can it not just be out in the open? Huge weekend, yeah. Oh, by the way, Adam, I got your message, dude. First off, thank you for all the love you've been showing us. And secondly, I can't wait to meet you at Horror Hound. We're going to have a good time, man. So listeners out there, folks, friends of the channel, the way you can find us at Indianapolis Horror Hound is I bought a banner that's bigger than I am. It's a giant retractable banner with all of our faces. Nick, Dion, Kendo, and myself. You know that logo we have, the new one I designed for the channel and all that stuff with the four of us? Well, that's a giant banner now. So make sure you look for that giant retractable banner at Indianapolis Horror Hound, August 24th through the 26th. We'd love to meet you. It's going to be our first appearance in public. We're shooting to meet Judge Reinhold and get him on the channel. So it'll be a lot of fun that weekend. And I hope you guys, if you're in the Midwest area, you can make it. I know it's a drive for some people, but if you've even considered it, please do, because we'll make it worth your time. We're going to be giving away some world-class bullshitters, items, buttons, little mini posters, flyers, shit like that, as just a way to spread the word and as a thank you to you guys. So feel free to stop by the table anytime, Adam. I can't wait to meet you, my friend. Calabunga, yo, Jeff, do you follow any fitness YouTube channels such as Buff Dudes, Scott Herman, Athlean X, and is there anyone you specifically like? Calabunga, I watch Buff Dudes quite a bit. They have a full body workout that I was doing for quite some time. It was like the one with the dudes on a beach, because I don't like to do leg machines. I'm one of those people that reads some of the books that talk about, like, the natural bending of your body, and certain machines don't help. So I do follow Buff Dudes, and I watched Six Pack Shortcuts just for some of like the science of the fasting and crap like that. I got my own routine I do, kind of gleaned it from like Men's Fitness and stuff in the Arnold Schwarzenegger book. So I do kind of a hybrid of that, Calabunga. I've never heard of Scott Herman or Athlean X. I've never heard of any of those ones, but Buff Dudes, they're funny, and I think I'm going to buy their book to support them as a channel. And they're a good channel with good intentions and good production value. So I like everything they do. I've been very impressed. Timothy Rigg, The Thing is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's a great movie. I remember the first time I saw it as a kid, it was on Sci-Fi Channel, so it was censored. And my uncle comes busting in and goes, "Blah!" And I was on the bunk bed of my cousin's bunk bed, and I hit my head on the ceiling because he scared the shit out of me. Also, Timothy Riggs, thank you again. Anyone going to Horror Hound? Tequila shots. I might get us a world-class bullshitter's bottle of Patron. And anyone who's old enough is welcome to come join us. The Cobra Viper. I'm sorry I broke you last night with Pony Play. Yeah, you did, Cobra Viper. It's taken me many hours to get over that and forget it until this very moment. And I was ready to forgive and move on in the world. But no, you brought it back to my attention. So thank you, Cobra Viper. It's the damage is done, my friend. A Black James Bond would make Live and Let Die complete nonsense. Watch the film again and you'll see what I mean. Half the script wouldn't make sense. Yeah, I love Live and Let Die. That's in my top 5 flicks. It's got the blaxploitation aspect. It's got the sexy Jane Seymour. Yeah, I said it on air. I don't care. Jane Seymour's fine. And Roger Moore's actually cool in that movie. It's got a great boat chase. Live and Let Die is a fantastic film, and I get what you're saying. There's definitely there we go. What can we do to get Judge Reinhold and John Ashton reunited in World Class Bullshitters? Petitions, money, what? I am going to offer Midnight Cherry TV. I am gonna pay Judge Reinhold for an autograph because I want one. And he's coming out to the show, and that's what these people do. They're working. So I respect what he's doing. I respect what he's done. I do like Judge Reinhold. I know a lot of people probably don't know who he is, but it would be a nice get. I'm trying to slowly get famous people to appear on the channel. I have a connection to somebody that worked on the original Halloween now through Facebook. So I'm going to try to slowly build a relationship, a friendship, if you will, with him and try to get him to come on the channel, soon and discuss that movie and talk about, truly independent filmmaking and the successes you can get from that. So that's my goal. I'm going to hope to get him on soon. But if John Ashton was at the show with Judge Reinhold, I'd probably shit my pants because I love Taggart and Rosewood. And like I said last night on World Class Bullshitters, I don't know. Actually, I do know because thanks to our friend Kenneth LaRock, I said I don't know what I want to take to get signed because I don't want any of my Beverly Hills Cop stuff to get ruined. But my God, he gave us a 10-pound super chat. I was like, go buy another copy. So now I have to because you guys wanted a turkey suit. I bought a turkey suit. You guys wanted Mr. Ed for Dion. I got Mr. Ed for Dion. And now I got to get another copy of Beverly Hills Cop. Woe is me. Zontar 82, cool name, thank you very much. For the last good Bond is Brosnan. Craig is an insufferable prick who lacks any finesse and humor. You hit that on the head right there with the lack of finesse. For me, Bond is supposed to be silky smooth yet slightly rough around the edges. Now I know Pierce Brosnan isn't what people consider the hard-edged James Bond. A lot of people go to Dalton, but like Pierce Brosnan is the one that shot a dude in the face point blank. Now, I know people go, License to Kill is this dark, brooding James Bond and all this terrible shit happens. Bond really doesn't, he's not the reason that Milton Crest's head explodes. He's not the reason that Felix gets eaten by a shark. Yeah, Dario gets pushed into the cocaine grinder, but Bond isn't really super, super, violent doing headshots. He just lights the dude on fire, but he's done that kind of shit to people before. Brosnan has that line in Tomorrow Never Dies where Dr. Kaufman is just, he's on his knees and Bond's putting the gun to his head and he goes, I'm just a professional doing a job. And then Bond looks at him and goes, so am I. Or he says, me too. And then boom, pulls the trigger, point blank, shoots him in the fucking face. Brosnan had a cool edge to him, but he was also slick and funny. Daniel Craig's jokes just don't work because he's too serious. He looks like what James Bond should fight. He should be a Russian agent. An Ivan Drago to Pierce Brosnan's James Bond. So I'm with you on the finesse and humor. And he seems like a douche. I don't really know him personally. I don't read interviews with Daniel Craig and go, he seems like a really cool guy who's proud of his craft and remained humble. No, I just don't get that from him. Maybe I'm wrong, but I remember the interview I read about Cowboys and Aliens and how Daniel Craig's a good cook and he just kind of told people to fuck off because he was just going to cook for Harrison Ford type thing. I don't know. You have to be there. I understand context is king, but at the same time, somebody like him, he's Bond, he's this big actor, he's making tons of money. What kind of problems do you have that aren't self-imposed? You should be so happy that you've made it that far in life. Millions of people watch you on the big screen and buy your movies and you make you tons of money. I just don't know why somebody like that could be so piss poor, have such a piss poor attitude. Mareth Dialine, thank you very much. Could you give a shout out to a friend of mine, Luciferi on Patreon? He's an aspiring artist who focuses mainly on fantasy, both safe for work and not safe for work. Heading to work. Enjoy the rest of the stream, guys. Mareth Dialine, again, thank you very much for all the limericks and all the love you've shown the show. Yeah, guys, check this out. Lusiferi, Luciferi on Patreon. Mareth Dialine, if you'd like to send a link for Facebook, we'll post that on the World Class Bullshitters Facebook, and we can share that out there for everyone to check it out. So if you're listening to this as a recording in the future, check that out. Mareth Dialine has helped us out a lot, so let's help out his friend, Luciferi, on Patreon. So thank you, Mareth Dialine. Cesare Japan. Grace Jones is a Bond girl. I like. Grace Jones is a Bond girl I like. Goes bad to good. Yes, Mayday is cool. She has that line. She's like, what about Jenny? What about the other girls? And then Christopher Walken just is like, ha! And then she just goes good and she sacrifices herself. I like A View to a Kill. It has a lot of good moments. Is it better than The Living Daylights? No, sir. Is it better than Octopussy? Yes, sir. So, um, Grace Jones. Now, my first introduction to her, did I see A View to a Kill before I played the game GoldenEye? I might have. I started on Bond pretty early for a kid. I'm not saying Bond movies are, overly sexy or anything like that, but most kids in grade school are watching like Homeward Bound or Disney movies or whatever Jonathan Taylor Thomas flick came out that weekend. But I was watching Beverly Hills Cop and Goldfinger and shit like that. So I had a pretty diverse taste early on in my life. Thank you, Cesar Japan. Cowabunga, again, thank you. I love buff dudes, and I highly recommend Athlean X if you like the science/all-natural aspect of training. Check him out sometime. I will. I'm going to make a copy paste of this super chat right now. Copied and pasted. There we go. I'm always looking to, watch more health-based stuff. I've been taking a lot better care of myself, feel better, look different. It's funny. I have strangers come up to me at the gym and tell me about the great progress I've made, yet no one in my family has mentioned it yet. So maybe they're just a little envious or they just don't notice. But it's cool when strangers come up and tell you that stuff. It's nice. Actually, this older dude who I went to high school with, his son came up to me. He's like, "Oh, man, you're looking great. I remember seeing you back in high school when you're on the football team and you look different. Now you look great." I'm like, "Thanks, man. I appreciate it." So anyone out there that has ever thought about doing it, just do it. You'll feel so much better. I honestly contribute the success of Good Morning Pop Culture to that, because if I was sluggish and tired like I used to be a lot, there wouldn't be Good Morning Pop Culture where I could get up on 6 hours of sleep, drink a cup of coffee, and be raring to go. So, Cowabunga, I will definitely check out Athlean X. Grand Inquisitor, thank you very much as always. You should start doing videos or segments called "What the fuck is this bullshit?" The Angry Video Game Nerd has a series called It's Bullshit, but I could definitely do like mini rage rants. I couldn't be as good as Razor Fist because I don't have a cool background or know how to do the camera work like he does, but I could get the content just right. Down the road, I am going to do like actual videos, kind of like how Jeremy's on camera. That's the, but I don't want to or stop doing the ones I do where, I write them, I record them, and put the video and picture to that. There are some of the videos that I've made, I'm very proud of. The million viewed Kathleen Kennedy one, those ones, like the big ones, I'm very proud of. The Toys R Us one, I'm so happy it's finally catching on. That video was sitting at like 30,000 views for the longest time, and now I look at it, it's at 202. So people are finding the Toys R Us video. That was a passion project of mine. It was genuinely sad to edit that and go film it. And I've driven past that Toys R Us a couple times, and now it's just this empty, lifeless husk of a building that housed some of the greatest memories of my childhood. And I'm thankful that I had the opportunity to make the video, and it's like a little time capsule. So it was it's nice. But yeah, I'm willing to do short videos, not even short, but like 10 to 20 minute videos, not a problem. We just got to figure out the YouTube algorithm so we can get those out there and seen by as many people, get the subscriber count up, and get the channel rolling, because you guys are awesome. Let's see. So Timothy Riggs, thank you very much. Jeff, going purple dildo shopping today. Warren Dion. He's got the doo-doo butter ready. He is ready for that. By the way, folks, if you haven't had a chance, go back and listen to last night's World Class Bullshitters. It'll explain the dildo talk. You bought the James Bond Lego DB5. What are your opinions of that set? I'm looking at it now. It's in the shipping box. I'm probably never going to open it up and build it. So I've seen it built at the Lego store. It's a very nice set. It has gadgets, revolving number plate, all kinds of crazy stuff. So I think it's a very neat set. It's nice that James Bond is being licensed out finally. There's been too much of a dry spell in terms of James Bond merchandise. You may get a book, a magnet, some Hot Wheels. That's about it. Now you're getting some dolls, which aren't that good, admittedly. But down the road, I'd like to see a series of 6-inch action figures with like an SH Figure Art style Bond set. I'll buy them. I'll buy everyone, stuff like that. So I can't tell you what I think of the set itself, but it's a cool looking car. I like it. I love the box, and it goes along nicely with my DeLorean and Marty and Doc and other Lego sets that I have. So I'm not really a big Lego collector, but I am a Bond collector. So that is my thing. Jeff should be the next Bond. The World Class Bullshitters is not enough. but it is such a perfect place to start, my friend. In reference to the stream title, we just need to have Pierce Brosnan make a guest appearance like in Black Panther 2. Have him be an unnamed spy helping T'Challa. That'd be kind of cool. I should do nostalgia chats or reviews of old school Cartoon Network, PBS Kids, and Nickelodeon. I definitely have a nostalgia series I'm working on. It's called Growing Up a Blank Kid in the 90s. So I wrote Growing Up a Marvel Kid in the 90s. That's done. I'm going to do a DC one, Growing Up a Star Wars Kid in the 90s. That's going to be a series. It has a finite number of videos because there's only so many things I was into in the 90s. But I do like nostalgia. I like to talk about it. I like to reminisce, think about the times, and pull out the merchandise that I have based on all those things. So like in my Growing Up a Marvel Kid video, I'm going to pull out the old Spider-Man and Iron Man and Captain America figures and all that shit I had as a kid. And then we'll do a comparison of the new stuff, and it'll be a lot of fun. John Lance, thank you for your super chat. There's no message, but I appreciate that. I just wanted to say muff to everyone Friday, and Jeff, I'll be a patron by tomorrow, brother. Thank you, Darth Durkle, the wise ass. I appreciate that. Thanks for being here on the channel as often as you have been. And I hope you enjoy everything that we upload to Patreon. We had quite a few, we had a lot this week. We're going to continue that stream of content, don't worry. How can you contact Nick about filmmaking for a paper? Well, Joel, all you got to do is tweet us, because Nick runs the Twitter, and just say @WorldClassBS. You know how to use Twitter, but say, "Hey Nick," and then he'll see that and he'll respond back to you. So Nick is our Twitter guy. So if you guys ever try to contact me personally through Twitter and I don't respond, not trying to be rude, but I don't run the Twitter. So that's Nick's thing, and he does a good job with that. But all private messages, if you need them, email me, worldclassbs@mail.com. Muffbusters or Ghost Muffers? Muffbusters sounds like a lot more fun. Holdo's Muff. Wife asked what the hell all these super chats were when she looked at the bank statement. In order to avoid a fight, I told her it was porn. I love it. I love it. In order to avoid a fight, it was porn. It's easier to explain porn than it is world-class bullshitters. Hey, I get it. I get it. Thank you, by the way. Is this the real Muff? Is this just fantasy caught on a Muff slide? There's no escape from reality. I wouldn't want to escape from a Muff reality. Best and worst Star Wars posters. Ooh. Star Wars rears its beautiful, ugly head. Best. You know what? I'll show these. Raiders of the Lost Muff. Oh. Let's see. Star Wars posters. Best Star Wars poster. I've talked about it. Now, I'm just picking official theatrical posters. We're not going to be talking about fan art or adaptations or stuff. So this one right here is my... I don't want to go to Amazon. Damn it. Okay, this is my all-time favorite Star Wars poster. It might be my favorite movie poster, depending on the day. A Midnight Cherry TV. Thank you very much for your super chat, Jeff. Or you inspire me, Jeff. Did my first stream today at 4 a.m. I'm going to go back and I'm going to check that out, Midnight Cherry TV. I'm glad I inspire you. I'm glad people listen to this show and then want to go out and make their own stuff. And if, like I said, Midnight Cherry TV, if you ever need to tell people about it, post it on our Facebook page, man. I hope you get a lot of listeners out there. You deserve it. Mystery Men is an underappreciated film that needs to be seen by every child on the planet 12 times. It needs to be the next generation's Goonies. So there is my favorite Star Wars poster. David Cook, thank you very much for your generous super chat. If they did go with the woke route for the next Bond, I'm dying on the inside to ask this. Who do you see playing Bond? Goldeneye is my favorite. Muff Army strong. Thank you, David Cook. I'm glad you guys are proud members of the Muff Army. I'm honored to lead the Muff Army into battle every Tuesday through Friday. I'm actually saying this on air. This is life right now. Cool. No, no, I'm all about the Muff Army. Thumbs up, guys. David, I'm glad you like Goldeneye. You have excellent taste in James Bond flicks. If they do go woke with Bond, who? Not Idris Elba. He's too old. I really don't want that to happen, but you asked, so I got to give you an answer. T.I. Yes, the guy from Ant-Man. No. Wait, going woke doesn't necessarily mean you have to have a black James Bond. You could have like I don't know, a Greek James Bond. See, to me, everyone that says Idris Elba should be the next Bond because of Luther and how he looks in these pictures is the same as Benedict Cumberbatch playing Bond because he can fight and has a cool voice. No to both. They just don't have that. They don't carry themselves that way. And Idris Elba just doesn't. I don't know. I'm a dude. I can't accurately gauge this, but he's just too gruff looking. James Bond's got to be like slicker than shit. And Idris Elba just seems kind of rough around the edges. But to answer your question, I'm trying to think of I'll just say Chadwick Boseman because I honestly can't think of somebody besides Michael B. Jordan that's a young enough black actor to play the role. But why would these black guys want to be Bond? Why wouldn't you want to be something and create your own identity? No one else has played Black Panther besides Chadwick Boseman. So forever, when people look up Black Panther the movie, it's Chadwick Boseman. He's the Sean Connery of Black Panthers. Why not embrace that? Why make black actors or ethnic actors, why try to stuff them in a mold that was created by someone else? Why not let Bond do his own thing? And why not give these new diverse actors some more meat? Give them something new and to make their own and become identified with that. That's what these people want. Identity politics, these people want to be identified as equal or this or that. Well, then give them something new and fresh to show the world. Oh, because the people that make the movies aren't that good. See, it's not the actor's fault. Like, it's not a black actor's fault or a white actor's fault or anything. It's the producers and the writers and the directors that make these bad fucking movies. So let's just let's remember that kind of stuff when we think about the future of woke 007. 00 woke? Nope. Timothy Riggs, were you the next one that popped up? Yes, Timothy Riggs. Truly woke Bond would have to be black, lesbian, paraplegic, Armenian, transsexual. So the lost Kardashian that no one talks about. Thank you, Timothy Riggs. I have a feeling we're going to have a hell of a time drinking tequila together. I'm just saying, Dion and I can throw that shit back. And oh my God, never mind. We'll talk in person. I don't want to give away everything on air. Trust me, I want there to be some surprises. Rocket Ship. I wanted Clive Owen to play Bond 10 years ago. So did I. I thought Clive Owen should have followed Pierce Brosnan because he has the look, he has the intensity. I like him in Sin City. I liked him in, what was that other movie he was in? Shoot 'Em Up. Man, Shoot 'Em Up was fun. I remember I saw a bootleg of that back in the day because it would turn black and white every once in a while. Yeah, Shoot 'Em Up was fun. I'm not saying I wanted a Bond film to be like Shoot 'Em Up, but I wanted that. There's just that style to these people. They're not even trying. That's what I want out of James Bond. I'm very particular. I just want the truest essence of 007. So back to the movie poster question, though. That's my favorite Star Wars poster, and let's see what other Star Wars posters there are. Are there any that I dislike? So, wait, I did not open that up right. Stop sharing. Boom, boom. Wish I had a producer for this morning show. Now, I dislike the Last Jedi poster. I think it's dumb. I don't like the Solo poster at all. I think I'll go with Solo or Rogue One for having the worst. I don't know, though. Episode 7's poster is so boring. And it's too much as well. I'm going to give the nod to the worst Star Wars movie poster to Solo, because they're just lazy Photoshop jobs. I'm going with the International Solo poster. Yeah, it hurts me to say that something about Solo is shittier than The Last Jedi, but that's not the box office. Here you guys go. This is what I mean by the worst Star Wars poster. This is just kind of bland and iffy and banal. The show is mufftacular. Well, that's the word I hope everyone uses from now on. Mufftacular. Dr. Devilstar, did you see the Oscars created the new category? I did. I think that it's an attempt to remain relevant, and it's going to be too little too late. Like I said yesterday, I got in a little bit of a Jimmy Kimmel rant. So if you'd like to hear me get angry about that, yesterday's show, fairly early on. But the Oscars are too preachy. I don't watch it because I don't need to see a bunch of dumb celebrities talk politics to me. They think that their problem is just that they're stuffy and boring. Well, they are long and they are stuffy and they are boring, but they're preachy. I don't care. Look, you could be my best friend in the world, and if we have differing politics, that's fine. I don't care. But when we get together, we don't sit and talk and, talk down to each other about our beliefs. I don't want Jimmy Kimmel or Robert De Niro or anybody talking down to me for hours and hours and hours. With this new category, they're hoping that, oh my God, they're going to nominate Black Panther or Captain Marvel for an Oscar and I'm going to watch. Folks, that's not going to work. It's not going to work. The modern audience, the young people that they're trying to keep watching, the millennials, they call it, they're trying to cater to them. Well, if we nominate movies they like, they'll watch. No. People don't watch TV the same way they used to watch TV. Award shows aren't, unless you're like a 32-year-old woman who is single in Seattle, you're not probably having Oscar party nights or some dude in LA. Like, that shit is quickly dying, if you will, properly to say it. Their new category just isn't going to hook people. I'm not watching it until I don't have to. I want a no politics guarantee at the Oscars. Like, what's his face? David Harbour at the Emmys when he went on that rant about shit during the Stranger Things award win. That's why I avoid those, because I don't really need to know your personal politics as an actor. Show up, do your job, I pay my money, and I leave. That's the role of an actor to me, not to try to... Because they don't have... To me, I don't think a lot of actors live in the real world. Like, if Kim Kardashian were to sit and tell me about stuff, like morality, I'd be like, who the fuck are you? You live in a fantasy land. You're famous for having a big butt. Like, I don't get where your frame of reference is so different and you're so removed from what is reality that I'm not listening. That's how I feel about a lot of actors. Benny Warren, thank you very much. Black James Bond doesn't work. He's been established too long. I'd rather see Bond train someone than change his established character. I'm fine with Bond being Bond and someone else, like they make a 008 or 009 movie or some shit like that. Go that route. I'm with you, Benny, all the way, my friend. Don't change James Bond. It's not going to work in the long run. There are more people out there that support James Bond than are on Twitter or anything like that. And I know that studios want the young dollars. They want that, new woke demographic. But mom and dad have grown up on Bond, and they're going to go, and that's 2 tickets. And not always will they see the matinee prices. You may have a working couple that are in their 30s or 40s that go see Bond, or you got a father and son that go see Bond, and it's going to continue that generational thing. By turning off the audience that has always showed up, you run the risk of them not showing their kids the next generation, or their kids the next version of the franchise. So for me personally, when I have kids, I'm showing them the original trilogy, and then the prequels and the Clone Wars, and that's it. We're not going into the sequel trilogy. Why? Because I wish I didn't have to see those movies. So I'm not going to introduce them to that. Maybe it's my own personal bias, but that's how I'm going to operate. I know a lot of people out there. Same if I have kids. Well, I have kids. If there's a Black Bond, I won't see the movie ever. I'm not going to watch it out of curiosity. I'm just going to stand my ground. It's not about, not supporting movies with black leads, because I was there for Black Panther on opening night. You guys heard the review. But it's for me standing my ground against these weird SJW politics and entertainment. Droid Lives Matter, thank you very much. I want Dolphin to play Bond. I want a dolphin to play Bond. First, I thought you meant like Dolph Lundgren. That would have been gross. Yeah, a dolphin. A dolphin is James Bond. An orca killer whale is Q. Moneypenny should be played by a donkey, just like in James Bond Jr. And the villain should be a sloth. Not Sloth from the Goonies, but an actual sloth. Now, that's a Bond film with diversity that I can get behind 100%. Magic Bullock. Soilo poster should have been a flushing toilet. And yeah, with a couple dollars going down it. That's what I would have liked to have seen. Asian James Bond, ? Why not do an Asian spy thriller? We have... the Asian cinema is strong. And I say that because there's Korean movies and Chinese and Japanese movies. I'm trying to just be like a nice coverall without, leaving out a group. But there are like the John Woo flicks, those hard-boiled and there's the game and something else. Like those types of Hong Kong action flicks, or your Jackie Chan movies and stuff. Those are awesome. Other countries have their own film presence, and they're awesome at what they do. Yes, I do like when like Jackie Chan shows up in Rush Hour. It's funny, but at the same time, I like Police Story and what's that other one I'm thinking of? Operation Condor, aka Armor of the Gods, stuff like that. So just have another Asian spy. Chirrut and Bays were Asian guys playing characters in Star Wars, and they were excellent because they're good actors and they worked. So again, just you can have people of any race play new characters. Just don't change established ones. Weaponized Muff. That sounds fun. Painful too. Dong Lover is James Bond. I may fall off a bridge. Just saying. Just fall. Didn't the guy who drew the Solo poster plagiarize the artwork? Yeah. What was I about to say? Yeah, I did a video of it. Oh, God, months back. It's funny. Solo came out less than 3 months ago. It feels like 2 years ago. This channel, the growth that it's been going through, like, would make so much content. I don't even remember June. Honestly, I can't tell you a single thing I did in June. I don't remember what movie I saw in June. I don't remember what I did in June. I could look at my calendar and write down, or look what I wrote down back then. Man, Solo seems like an eternity. Man. Let's see. Holdo's Muff is James Bond. 007, what are you doing? Watching porn, Mom. That's it. That's the whole movie. Yeah, Bomino. By the way, folks, if you want to watch some of the older World Class Bullshitter Star Wars content, I put out a playlist that you guys could just let play in the background while you're working or taking a shower or something. I don't know what people do. Everybody showers though, but the videos in that playlist is just called Disney Star Wars, and it's all chronological. So look for something around May, maybe late April when I made the video. See, Jackie Chan is mostly theater and not really a martial artist. Oh, I know, but I'm just going by basic movies. Jackie Chan was awesome. And I know he doesn't do too much today, but growing up as a kid, man, I loved Rumble in the Bronx, Super Cop, all those movies. I know they're the American titles, Jackie Chan's First Strike, but I used to watch Mr. Nice Guy, where he's in Australia and he's the cooking show guy. I liked all those as a kid. Those were fun. Oh, you worked with Jackie Chan's stunt team for a Hong Kong action flick. It was meh. Jason Bourne, I wish that I hope we meet one day so we can talk about some of the cool stuff you've done. Obviously, you can't put everything on air, so I'm not going to, prod you for private information that could hurt your career. But down the road, if we ever meet, I definitely have a bunch of questions for you. Who else? Jackie Chan will whoop that ass. In the movies, he will. Amelia Clark is 45% mouth. That's not a bad thing. Oh, yeah, we have another part of the show to discuss this morning, guys. Bad comic book art. Who's ready for that? Type in Muff. I'm going to click off this picture of Idris Elba. I don't want to look at him anymore. So we have 2 today for bad comic book art. We're going to show you the lady picture first because, we're polite gentlemen here on World Class Bullshitters. Ladies first. And secondly, we'll do the male one. So everyone's ready. We're typing Muff for the segment change. MG Villain, you have good taste, my friend. So here's the first piece of bad comic book art. Now this one isn't bad. It just makes me uncomfortable. This comes from an issue of the X-Men, and I'm not into it. Let me know what you think. A lot of Muff, man. I love it. I typed in Muff. I saw a dog wearing a scarf. Yeah, oh my God, what is that? That is not the worst art I've ever seen, but this is just unsettling. It looks like Greg Land had a stroke. God damn. I guess that's good for a stroke and tracing, but Jesus. Sorry, Voorhees67. Bad comic book art is a fun segment. It has a lifespan. Because after you got to understand something. The people that usually draw these comic books, like the big high-end ones, because I'm never going to go after independent people. That's just in bad taste. But, you know, Marvel and DC stuff is fair game because they're professionals. Bet Nurkish will have a lot to say about this pick. I haven't talked to Nurkish in months. He invited me on the Cancer Cast once, but I had a Patreon hangout, so I couldn't make it. I hope he doesn't think I was avoiding him. Because Nurkish is a pretty nice guy off air. Looks like Cyclops aimed in the eye. Well, he's got that visor on. Oh my God, is that Pepper Potts? No, it's not the Hest from Easter Island already. Draw me like one of your Muff girls. Sure. Kamikaze Johnson, you got the right idea. 100%. If you think this one's bad, now the next one is drawn well, but there's one wonky thing about it. So I'm going to show you guys the next one. It's not bad per se, unless this picture is great if you don't look at the eyes or the teeth. Does she have pink eye? Maybe she does. This is the one that that really threw me off. Yeah, high as fuck soups. Yeah, I don't like Humberto Ramos's art, but if I keep attacking it, I don't want to come off as being mean-spirited. You know, this is just a fun little segment. I bet you Rags Morales would admit, yeah, the eyes are off. So that's, you know, I don't want to call any people out because, you know, art, you know, you put a lot of time into it. And sometimes it turns out great, sometimes it doesn't. But you don't want to make people feel bad about themselves. Yeah, Clark really did need glasses. So we had another super chat roll in. Dear Lord, no wonder they killed off New 52 Superman. Yeah, that's the reason there, Jake. Let's see. Chortle Games. Idris Elba as the nefarious Bond villain and Michael B. Jordan as Bond. James Bond. Just kidding around like a kid on the playground, man. Morning. Thank you, Chortle Games, for that. I hope you're kidding. I hope you're kidding. I don't want Michael B. Ew. Look, at Michael B. Jordan was okay as Killmonger. And I mainly liked him because he died at the end. If he would have gotten away with that shit, I would have been like, man, fuck this movie. But no, he paid the price. He's dead. I liked it. I liked him enough. He had the charisma. Some of the lines of dialogue he was spewing out there were kind of preachy and heavy-handed and, you know, flat out dumb. But overall, yeah, he's okay. But no, ew, God. Now, Idris Elba as a Bond villain could be cool. James Bond versus Luther. But as always, Chortle Games, good morning to you and thank you very much. Cecil 60, or not Cecil 67. Wow. Voorhees 67. Can you please show us EVS's bad comic book art? I don't think you're gonna find a lot because I'm not saying this because I'm on the High Council and trying to be nice. EVS is was DC's one of the biggest artists there. He was, you know, him and Jim Lee and those guys. He had a lot of talent and a lot of experience, so it's gonna be hard to find bad Ethan Van Sciver art. But he did hide the word sex in a whole bunch of X-Men comics, so that's like a publicly known thing about him. The Pui, thank you very much. Is Cecil making drinks? No, that's my chair you hear clicking. I've had this chair not even that many months, but it makes weird noises. I guess I need to oil it or something. So, yeah, the only one making a drink is me finishing a coffee, the Pui. The Cobra Viper. Looks like the House of L is missing some branches off the old family tree. Or on the old family tree. Yeah, Superman looks derpy as shit. Let's just be honest. I wish Herbicus McDerpington was here to be like, hey, look, it's my uncle, Soups. Cecil 67. Oh God, Jeff, why would you ever say that? Well, because you saw the next super chat was about Cecil making drinks from my clicky chair. So I read both. My mind went whoop, and then we had Cecil 67. Kine 24. I just got here. Are you sure James Bond's going to be black? I don't think it's not confirmed, but Barbara Broccoli had a conversation with Anton Fuqua, and they're talking about Idris Elba. It's in Esquire. It's not me making it up. This is an Esquire article that I was greeted with this morning, and I don't like it. Not at all, one bit. Now, I have a question for you guys about this. Let's look at Superman real quick. If he uses his heat laser vision, do the beams go in two different directions? Can he control that? Is it like an astigmatism type of situation? Like, what's he going to do? You can watch the stream from the beginning after it goes off the air. Usually it takes a little bit to render, and then once it's done, it's available for everybody. So, yeah, it's just a technical thing, guys. I don't get to control that aspect. I'm sorry. Did he smoke kryptonite weed? Yeah, fucked him up. It's a hate crime. He's blazed. He had 2 corrective lenses. Cecil 67. Look what you've done to me. Listen to what you've done to me. Thank you, Cecil 67, for his super chat. Now he's one of us. He's gonna be okay. Cecil 67. You should send him messages on his live stream. Look what Jeff of World Class Bullshitters did to me. Look at it. Superman watched The Last Jedi. Superman's new chameleon ability. Cecil is the Borg. One of us. One way to muff one of us. Resistance is futile. Should Crypto the Superdog get a movie? Sure, with no humans whatsoever. Gabriel Alejandro Pandiela Rodriguez. I apologize for butchering the third name. I'm with you, man. Original IP all the way. It's not about keeping down anyone of any color. Just make them something new and give them the time to shine under their own weight. People will find good movies. It may take a little bit, but people will find good movies. You can't just take something pre-established, launch diversity into it, and think you're going to like change the landscape culturally. It never works. Female-led movies don't flop at the theater because they're female-led. They flop if they're bad. Ghostbusters, bad. Ocean's 8, forgettable. Mamma Mia 2, from what I hear, a dumpster fire. He found out Rian Johnson is getting his own trilogy. Superman's reaction to Infinity War being Justice League at the box office. Yeah, man. Not only did Infinity War beat Justice League, holy shit, it dominated. It decimated it. It was without a doubt the knockout blow. And you're thinking DC might get up by the count of 9 and keep this thing rolling, but dude, Aquaman is next. Aquaman could be good. Who knows? Then you got Shazam next year, which is what I'm excited for. And wouldn't it be funny if Captain Marvel Shazam came out and beat the hell out of MCU Captain Marvel, and all the bullshit in the world, all the media spin could not get people to go see Brie Larson's unlikable Captain Marvel. Chortle Games, thank you very much. A beat of elbow grease and good spit shine goes a long way on most things. Chairs too, I imagine. Do you have an original concept for your own hero? I've played around with superhero concepts and stuff in the past, but you know, after a while, it's like this is derivative of this and that. Superheroes have been out for so long, and I don't know what hasn't been done yet. So for me, the reason I'm doing the Indiegogo with that kidnapping Harrison Ford story is because it's unique, it's different, it's funny. I mean, I get to draw, which is nice, but at the same time, I get to tell a funny, compelling story that reflects, you know, the last couple years of, you know, the psyche of your average Star Wars fan. So that's where I'm going with that story. That's why I'm choosing that instead of superhero stuff, because you see, Ethan had the luxury of having Cyberfrog out decades ago. I don't. So I do have an idea for a superhero, and I have villains and stuff to go with it too, but I don't have anything planned out beyond like a couple one-note jokes. Rocket Ship says, reported making fun of Tard isn't cool. Okay. The Framinator. Anyone read the OG Alien comics? Which one is your fave? The Framinator, if we're talking OG Aliens, like I've read some of the Dark Horse Aliens and Predator stuff from back in the day, but I don't know if there's a specific issue you're asking for. Like, I don't know any of the story arcs. So I guess, is there an Alien versus Predator versus Batman? Or is that Just Batman versus Predator. I've read Batman versus Predator. That's cool. That's not what you're asking, but still, that's cool. Cesare Japan. Lois used lead line Teddy lingerie. Superman is confused. Superman hurt himself. It's confusion. Was he a fucking Pokemon now? Superman knows 4 moves. Too bad Cena only knows 3. Are you guys tired of looking at Superman? I guess I should change Superman. He's a good man. Yesterday I was on Jeremy's stream over at Geeks and Gamers. He said that J.J. Abrams was the one direct Last Jedi. Jeff, I want to hear your thoughts on J.J. Abrams and The Last Jedi. Oh, if J.J. Abrams directed The Last Jedi, I'm of two minds. We wouldn't have had the dumpster fire and the fun that we've had with The Last Jedi's failures if J.J. Abrams directed it, because The Force Awakens is, I guess it's better than The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi has so many broken problems, and that caused a lot of people to notice the garbage that is Disney Star Wars. Like, The Last Jedi was the sunglasses, the awakening, if you will, for a lot of these people. If JJ directed The Last Jedi, you would have had it would have been very similar to Empire again, but Rey's parentage wouldn't have been nobody's. It would have been Luke Skywalker would have been respected differently. It would have been a better movie, but that's not really saying too much. That's like saying getting a shot in the knee is better than getting a shot in the left knee is better than getting shot in the right knee. It sucks both, and you don't want either one. Let's see who else we had. Beetlejuice versus Jack's Joker. Ooh, so it's essentially Michael Keaton versus Jack Nicholson again. Lewis MX, thank you. Jeff, you're a machine, man. You sponsor all these videos and live streams. Cheers. Lewis, thank you very much for that compliment, and you guys are definitely worth it. Like I said, this isn't just me trying to be positive and fun in the morning. I genuinely love doing this. I don't ever once go, man, I hate this. There are times where I'm sleepy, but that's just a natural human thing. That can't be denied. But overall, like, I'm very happy that this is what I'm doing with my time. We get to talk about entertainment. We get to have fun. We have a community, like a big community now. You guys see the numbers; they're out there. There's tons of people that watch the show live. There's tons of people that watch this show on the replays. I'm glad you guys have the time, made the time for me and all the content that I produce. And like I said, I will continue to make the daily videos and stuff as long as we can figure out the algorithm and get the views up there on these. I will take the time and do what needs to be done to make sure I reach everybody. Chortle Games, curious why you guys pirate movies. No offense. What I own tons and tons of movies, like Bond, every commentary. Not only do I own it on Blu-ray, I own it on 2 different sets of DVDs. I own copies of The Thing, stuff like that. I got, like when we did horror stuff, I own physical copies of a lot of stuff. So sometimes I do have digital backups of stuff like Star Wars, so I can watch it on this computer since I don't have my Blu-ray player hooked up. But I'm looking at the box set right there. So I buy tons and tons of movies. I don't really feel like I'm hurting the film industry. I mean, I don't like Spider-Man Homecoming that much, but I got a copy of it. Got tons and tons of movies. So I'm not taking offense, but I don't really pirate a lot. I don't pirate anything. I don't know how to do it. And I like American Psycho, got it on DVD. So a lot of those movies aren't I don't really steal it. And I don't ever advocate it here on the channel. I tell you guys, you got to find your own copy. I don't know how. I don't care how you find it. That's up to you. But you got to find your own copy. We can't stream the movies for you. So there we go. Let's see. Yeah, Jeff promotes purchasing your entertainment on World Class Bullshitters. Thank you, Benobi. I do. I don't tell you guys like, hey, go steal a copy of Hot Fuzz. Maybe I have a disagreement about Simon Pegg being a hypocrite, but the best thing you can do is, if you don't want to support these people, go to your local half-price bookstore and pick up a used copy, or go to the library. So there you go. Let's see. Thrift stores, pawn shop, dirt cheap. Yeah. You buy used Japan. Let's see. Ooh, Kendo Slice is here. I wonder what the ace did. Hot Fuzz, like more like Hot Muff. Oh, I guess he's talking about politics. Okay, yeah. Abomino, you have a good weekend too. I hope your meeting goes well, and I'll catch you maybe later tonight throughout the rest of the weekend. We're going to be here. Let's see. You want a movie? Okay. I know a guy in East New York. It's my friend movies with dodgy sites. I got so many viruses. Mannequin Skywalker Boxes Production is an underrated channel, and Star Wars reviews are funny. Boxes Productions. I'll have to check that out. I'm always open to new suggestions here on YouTube. Cecil67. This is a permanent thing now. This is just too funny. You're always going to get a chuckle out of me. Would I be interested in live-action anime film adaptations? Depends. Isn't Alita Battle Angel like a live-action anime adaptation? I think that looks... I don't know. I'm not interested. The Uncanny Valley in the face. I saw Ghost in the Shell because Dan was like, let's go see it. It looks good. And it was okay, but I'm not going to see Alita Battle Angel. It doesn't look very interesting to me. So maybe for live action adaptations, it doesn't hurt. I don't think it hurts to adapt like a book different times, different ways. Now certain things you can't readapt. Like, okay, Willy Wonka and the Wizard of Oz, you can't really adapt those stories again and have them work. We got Tim Burton's garbage, or you'll get The Wiz or other things like that, reimaginings. But those originals always work. But you can readapt, like, trying to think what's a good thing that has multiple, like It. You can adapt that. You did it in the 90s with the miniseries. You did it again in 2017 with the kids version, and they're both excellent. They both have their merits. Bill Skarsgård is a great Pennywise. Tim Curry is a great Pennywise. It just depends what you're looking for, and both can coexist and be fun. I like them both a lot. I give them high markings. Droids Lives Matter. This is the People's Court, and Jeff is the People's Champ. Well, thank you very much, Droid Lives Matter. I like that moniker. I wish it was wholly original to me alone. But all joking aside, I was on the People's Court. I guess I should tell that story. Let's see. A lot of people talk about anime. Let's see. This shows a nice start to your day and a fine end to mine, heading towards midnight here in Tasmania. Oh, Peter Martin. You're all the way in Tasmania. Cool. I didn't realize. I mean, when people tell me they're like in different parts of the world, it just blows my mind because I just can't imagine, like, oh, I'm here in Ohio, and I don't live in farm country or anywhere like that. This neighborhood's crabby, but whatever. But just to know it's like, oh, yeah, people in other parts of the damn planet listen to your show. It just always excites me. Billy Ritchie, doing groceries while listening. Now, are you at the grocery store? Because that'd be crazy if, like, some people leave their phone on in their pocket and they walk through the store without headphones on. I can imagine, like, I go on some rant about something in public and somebody's like, oh, shit, what's that guy listening to? Type of thing. Moret the Aline posted to the Facebook. Thank you very much in terms of the thing. I will share that in just a second. We had another one pop up from Chortle Games. How did Kendo Slice come to co-host on the show? Excellent question, Chortle Games. Here's how a lot of people came onto the show. So with Kendo was our first patron. He is a super fan of the show, like a lot of you guys. And Brian Lape, channel dad Brian Lape, started a show called the Fan Cast, which is like the farm team version of World Class Bullshitters. And they're always looking for guests. So if you guys ever want to like stretch your podcasting muscles, contact channel dad Brian Lape. He's a nice guy, easily approachable. They record on Friday nights. So if you're ever in and you'd like to test out what it's like to be on a podcast, he's got all the stuff. He can help you out. He's real easy. You don't have to be nervous. It's not, scary at all. But Kendo was on the Fancast for quite a while. Now, one of the perks of being a patron here on World Class Bullshitters is if you're of a certain level, you can be on the show. Commentary, hangout, whatever you want. You can be on the show. It's not debatable. Kendo, I asked him as a patron if he wouldn't mind being on Ring Rust, which was our old failed wrestling podcast. And we did that, and Kendo came on, and a couple minutes in, I thought to myself, this guy knows his shit. He's prepared. He has notes. He basically, the other guys that were on Ring Rust with me, the wrestling show, he blew them out of the water, and these guys had been on the show for a while. So he proved quickly that one, he's a fan, and two, he's a good communicator, and he knows what he's doing. So I thought, I'm going to have him on the next week. So I did. And then I think he was on, 2 or 3 episodes. Kendo knows the numbers. And then I had him on the podcast proper. We needed somebody. And then we had a falling out with Dustin, who couldn't be on the show regularly anymore. So I remember I was cutting my grass, and Dustin's like, I want to be friends, this, that, and the other, and all that. You know how people get. And I said to Nick and Dion, what about this Kendo guy? And they're like, hey, I'm fine with that. So then I contacted Kendo, and Kendo's been on the show ever since. And he's become a real-life friend. And it's been a good thing. So that's how Kendo became a co-host on the show. He was a patron who then found channel dad Brian Lape, and they did the fan cast together, and now Kendo is a part of the crew. That's why his face is on the banner. That's why he's on the business cards and the flyers, and soon to be the World Class Bullshitter shirts and all that. So Chortle Games, thank you for that question. I always like to tell people how the show became the way it is. It's fun. It's nice. I like behind the scenes stuff in other entertainment, and I like to tell behind the scenes stuff. That way, no one can ever interpret it as this happened. No, I mean, I was there. That's the truth. Let's see. Jeff was neighbors with Logan and Jake Paul. No. Jeff is The Rock. Why the hell? Why didn't he tell DNC to go back to Supercuts? $5, nice haircut. I've seen that promo where he's talking. There's so many Rock promos I love. Some mornings when I'm a little tired, I'll chug a coffee and watch a Rock promo and get amped up, and that's how I'll start my day. And it always works, because once this show starts, I'm ready. I'm here. I'm present. Lando Calrissian's all the way in Canada. Hello, what have we here? Let's see. People's Court, do tell. Link and all be forgiven. I don't have a link to the show. I'm not trying to hide it. I was 8 or 9 years old, so there's nothing to hide of me being on the People's Court. I'm not embarrassed at all. But I was on the People's Court as a kid. So my mom and stepdad at the time, we went to New York, and we were just walking down the street, and there was this group of people, and we went to check out what it was, and it was a People's Court taping. And I had a New York Islanders coat, because as a kid, my mom would always get me, because I grew a lot, like really fast as a kid. So my mom would buy me winter coats, but she would buy me, stuff that she could afford. And I always had like London Fog or other stuff. But for some reason, I got this New York Islanders jacket because it was big enough to fit me. And it was like a really thick insulated jacket. So I was plenty warm. So we're up in New York. I'm wearing this Islanders coat, and the People's Court just so happens to be a story about hockey. So when Harvey Levin is out there interviewing people, I'm there, and they ask me, what do I think? And I think I said something like, I think it sucks or something, or he's guilty or something like that. I mean, this is 1998, guys. I don't remember. Early 98. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I know for sure I'm on the People's Court, and I remember Harvey Levin had this thick makeup. And I just remember saying to my mom, what's on his face? And she's like, honey, he's wearing makeup for TV. So that was my People's Court story. Now, I was on Judge Mathis as well, and I'll tell that story at a later date. If you guys want to hear the Judge Mathis story, let me know. I will tell you everything. It was really thick and really warm. Jeff X 2018. Quote me on it. Quote me on that, man. Let's see. We had a couple other ones. By the way, folks, Mareth Dialine posted about his Luciferi art. It's over on our Facebook page right now. Oh, hold on. Let me actually post the link to our Facebook page so you guys can check that out and support independent art. Like I said, we're a community. We help each other out. Let's see. World Class Bullshitters fan page. Sorry, I'm doing Facebook work on the air because that's exciting. But there we go, guys. It is here on the Facebook page. You guys can check it out right now. Wait, I'm planning a get-together. That's not what I posted. Delete. I'll fix it. Reth Dealine, I'll make sure I post it right after the show because this is. See if that works now. There we go. There's the link, guys. Check that out. It's on our Facebook page. Thank you, Mareth Dealine, and I hope people check out your friend's art. Believe me, I know I've been there as an artist. It can be hard at times, but you just keep pushing through. And the stuff is really good. I'm looking at it right now. Nice coloring, great effects on the fire. Destructor. Yeah, your friend definitely has a talent. Let's see. Who else did we have pop up? Cecil67, I already read yours. Billy Ritchie. If they make a bullshit origin movie, who would you cast and who would you want to direct? I'll give you two answers. First off, if we make an origin movie, I'd like for us to have the budget to make our own because it's the truest version, and I feel like I could pull out a decent performance as well as Dion. Kendo too. We got to work on Nick. We got to train him in the art of acting. But if we're gonna do a bullshitters movie, and you know what? I'm going to be risque and cast a white guy as Dion. No. I'm honestly trying to think of actors that remind me of us. I will tell you one, like a personal story. I used to watch the movie I Love You, Man, and think, man, I really want a friendship like that, like Paul Rudd and Jason, what's his face? I can't think of his fucking name. Not Jason Sudeikis. Jason Segel. I used to think, oh, man, that seems like a cool friendship to have. And I was like, I guess I have that in real life. So based on actors that I think would be good for the origin story of world-class bullshitters, Kendo would probably be, honestly, Danny McBride would be a good Kendo. Because we don't have to be cast as younger guys. I mean, we range from 28 to 34. That's the demographic. That's the age range of the bullshitters. So Danny McBride would be Kendo. Dion would be played by... Anthony Mackie wouldn't be a bad Dion. Maybe they don't look anything alike, but I could see him pulling that performance out of a Dion. Nick, who would play Nick? And I don't need to stick to Samoan actors. I can't think of somebody who would be a good Nick. Maybe. See, I know Nick a little differently than you guys do because he's always, he's having a good time on the show, but he's definitely deeper and more sarcastic off air. I don't know. I'm gonna bitch out and say I'll have The Rock play me. Yeah, right. It's my movie, right? I can cast it. No, I'm nothing really like him. I mean, I could do the People's Elbow, but then again, who can't? I don't know. I'll come back to you on the Nick and Jeff casting, but Anthony Mackie and Danny McBride for Dion and Kendo, hands down. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Danny McBride is like the best Kendo. If we wanted to be mean to Nick, get a Clark Duke play Nick, the kid from Hot Tub Time Machine. That'd be fucked up. Let's see. Man, I really want to give you an answer for me because I'm not trying to be funny. Who would be a good me in the movie? I guess I see myself differently than other people see me, so I can't accurately gauge who should play me. I'm going off who acts like us in real life. So I can't accurately answer that question. Let me know who you guys would cast as me and Nick. Kenneth LaRock at World Class Bullshitters. Lando is not here. He's filming 9. He canceled Fan Expo Canada. Oh. I knew he had canceled stuff, but I didn't realize he'd canceled stuff early. I guess, yeah, they did start filming 2 weeks ago. I wonder what he's doing right now. I mean, let's see. Well, they're in the UK, so what time is it there? Like 2 o'clock in the afternoon? 2:48. So probably getting back from lunch. He's just sitting in the Falcon saying, "How you doing, Chewbacca?" Like that's his whole role. Hopefully he's in the UK counting his check. That'd be a nice way for Billy D to spend his days. Like Stan Lee, let's just let him retire, even though he hasn't done as much for the world of entertainment as Stan Lee. But thank you, Kenneth LaRock, for this super chat, and thank you for the one last night. I'll be going out to pick up a new copy of Beverly Hills Cop today, and I will get that shit signed by Judge Reinhold. So thank you for making that a possibility, Kenneth. Gunnar Renee Oye. What about Marvel Studios chairman's thing with the Veterans Administration? Hear about that? I have not, Gunnar. Would somebody care to fill me in? I'd love to answer it longer, because that seems kind of interesting to me. By the way, folks, we're going to have our veteran stream in the near future. So next Wednesday, the 15th, is our 007 first timer video, our stream with American Trent. Maybe the 22nd or the 29th. I can't promise an exact date, but I know there's a lot of veterans that listen to the show, support the channel, and it was a fantastic idea. I'm sorry the name escapes me, but I know I want to have, people on that have been in the military to talk about how geek culture and entertainment, how they accessed it in the military. I'm gonna have Joel on too, because Joel was in Desert Storm for a couple of days, but he was in the Navy for a decade, and he was watching. He was stationed in Japan and stuff like that, so he had a different take. He saw a lot of stuff in Japan that was before it came out in America in terms of anime and stuff like that. So that stream is going to happen. If you're out there wondering when it's going to happen, it's got to be on a Wednesday, possibly a weekend. I can work out a Saturday in the near future, but I will keep you up. I have not forgot about that. The Pui, thank you very much. Missed again. I want my $2. Thanks for the great show again, Jeff. The Pui, thank you for all your messages. Thank you for all your kind words. And that's Better Off Dead, right? I think that had an anniversary. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago? And that video clip popped up on my Facebook page. Chortle Games, thank you very much for your super chat. Henry Cavill has advocated for roles as James Bond and Geralt of Rivia. Which part would he best be suited for? What's Nick's origin story? I don't know who Geralt of Rivia is. Let me just Google that real quick so I can at least tell you if I've heard of it or the franchise it's from. Now, Henry Cavill as Bond is my ideal choice. Oh, The Witcher? Or no? Yeah, The Witcher. Oh, okay. I forgot to download that. I think it wasn't Witcher 2 or 3, the free PlayStation game a few months back. I don't have time. But Henry Cavill as Bond is the official choice of world-class bullshitters. I know some people think he's bad as Superman. I don't think he's bad as Superman. This script is whatever, but I thought he did a good job. Man from U.N.C.L.E., he did a good job. And in Mission Impossible, he did a good job. That's my choice. He's got the look. He can act. He's got the physicality behind it. I don't need an old James Bond. And he's British too. Henry Cavill's got the accent. Have you ever heard him talk on Conan O'Brien or Red Carpet? He sounds, he's British. So that's awesome. So, and I also believe that when an actor wants to play a role and is qualified, he'll do a great job at it. Much like Christian Bale, pretty sure he wanted to play Batman. He did a good job. The voice is stupid. The why you gonna kill me and all that shit is dumb. But overall, his Bruce Wayne gets a thumbs up for me, and I'm giving a thumbs up. You guys can't even see me. I don't know why I'm doing it, but what's Nick's origin story, like to the show or in general? Because I met Nick at a horror convention 4 years ago. This September would have been our friend anniversary. Yeah, Nick was just at a convention, Horror Hound, Indianapolis, that we're going to in 2 weeks. He was sitting next to me at the table. He was working with his mom, and Nick had to slide past us, so he kept saying, "Excuse me, I'm sorry." And then we ended up making "I'm sorry" jokes all the time. Even his mom got involved. And to this day, Nick called me on New Year's. I was up with Dion in Michigan, and Nick goes, "Hey, my mom's here. She just wants to say something to you." And she goes, "Jeff, I'm sorry," and gives the phone back to Nick. So Nick's mom's awesome. Nice lady. And that's really how I met Nick, and we've just been friends ever since. Nick's always tried to give us advice and stuff with social media. Then we got him involved in the podcast. He's been on since episode 3. And Nick's going to be doing some of his own projects soon. So I hope all the listeners out there could throw some love at Nick and his Facebook pages and groups and his podcasts and stuff. Because Nick's a passionate filmmaker. He's a talented filmmaker. And he deserves a lot of success because he works really hard for it. Anthony Mata, thank you for your super chat. Who would play EVS, Jeremy, and Ivan? I honestly feel like EVS should be played by... No! Paul Giamatti is Ethan Van Sciver. That's who plays him in the movie. Who will play Jeremy? I want to give an actor that Jeremy hates to play Jeremy. Or like somebody that's completely unqualified, like looks nothing like... Morgan Freeman should play Jeremy. And then Ivan Ortega... who's slick enough to be Ivan Ortega? Because that guy's got a cool voice. Oscar Isaac doesn't have that cool of a voice. See, in many ways, Ivan Ortega sounds like Ricardo Montalban to me, the guy who played Khan and the guy from Fantasy Island. So you need somebody who has that smoothness to him. Maybe like a young Banderas. That would be cool for Ivan. Cecil 67, thank you. Judge Reinhold plays Nick. You can be Leslie Jones. So do I play Leslie Jones in a movie about her, or does Leslie Jones play me? Because, I mean, we might be the same height, but I am nowhere near that color. And I have much better teeth and hair. Thank you, Cecil 67. Mr. Rourke. Okay. Kevin Spacey is Jeremy. God damn, that's harsh. That's harsh. Walter, fuck it, let's go bowling. I agree, Cavill is Bond. I loved him in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. I did too. What's the origin story for Dion? Well, Dion was born in Michigan in 1989, and he grew up and met me. Now, like I said, I can gladly tell you guys the stories of how I became friends with everybody. I met Dion through Dustin. So the way I met Dustin, I was walking back from the cafeteria. I heard a WWE ring bell coming from a room. I knocked on the door, and he opens. He says, yeah. I said, are you watching WWE? He goes, yeah, how'd you know? I'm like, I heard the ring bell. And we started talking. I told him I had been to the last 2 WrestleManias. That goes to show you how long ago that story was, because now I just came back from my 13th WrestleMania. So, yeah, times have changed. We started talking. He lived on the floor beneath me. I would go down there and hang out quite a bit. Then Dustin's birthday was a couple weeks later. He's like, we're going to the strip club. I'm turning 19. I had never been to the strip club. So I was like, yeah, this is my chance. And there's this guy named Dion with his girlfriend Hillary. And we all went. And this guy named Rick, his name is actually Rick Shaw. So there you go. Rick Shaw is his legal name. He drove us. He had a Mercedes. And he drove us to the club. And Hillary laid across everyone's lap in the back seat. And I had the front seat, thankfully. And Dion and I became buddies because the stripper gave him a concussion. And I requested the same concussion. And that's all she wrote. We've been friends for a decade now. Let's see. And this is a big if episode 9 fails, how will Disney handle the backlash? Will they oust KK and Rian Johnson? They will cancel Rian Johnson's trilogy. Kathleen Kennedy will step down publicly. They will have more emphasis on Star Wars and animation from Dave Filoni. They will stop pushing the SJW agenda. They will try to give you a Star Wars action movie that appeals to men as well as sells a lot of toys. They're not going to focus on the future of the Force being female and all that stuff. That's the only way they'll change is fear and lack of money. Will Ferrell should play Jeremy. They both have the same hairstyle. Yeah. Funny enough, if I let my hair grow, I have the same hair too. Let's see. They will blame this channel. You know what? I'm okay. If World Class Bullshitters takes the blame for tanking Star Wars Episode 9, at least I'm remembered. That's all I can say. Let's see. Silicon Dave, catch you next time, my friend. Who would play Cecil? Cecil would play Cecil. You can't copy that type of charisma. Such a masculinity about Cecil that no actor can mimic. Maybe Melissa McCarthy. You want more derpy comic book art? Well, I will gladly give you guys more derpy comic book art next time because it's almost 10 o'clock already, and I got a car appointment at 11 on the dot, so I have to close this out, pack my gym bag, get ready for that, and then I'll be back in a few short hours. So let's see if anything... Nathan Lane could play that. Jeff rocks the wet perm. You mean Soul Glow? Because I always let my soul glow through, my friend. Always. Bad Star Wars comic art. We could look at some of the older Star Wars comic panels for a laugh or two. That would be fun. Jeff's perm is very moist. Yes. Yes. Lies. It's 9 a.m. It's 9:57 a.m. on my timeline. So let's see. Mike Myers in a suit could play EVS. Oh, poor. Be nice to Uncle Ethan. Bruce Valanche can play Cecil. There we go. No, Jeff does not have a perm. I just have naturally curly hair. Right now it's real short, so there's no curl to it. I gotta get another haircut. Samuel L. Jackson for BB-8. I'm down with that one, 100%. Everyone ejaculate on that like button. Whatever you do, just press it. I don't care how you press it, with what you press it. Just make it happen. Brian Late, my bullshit brings all the boys to the yard. Oh, good job, Brian Late. Let's see. Chortle Games. This looks like you're going to get the final super chat of the morning. Thank you very much for all the kind support that you've given, and thanks to the support everyone's given the channel this morning. We're hitting a stride with Good Morning Pop Culture. So I'd like to thank everyone. Dia Brando got one after that. So Chortle Games, Strip Club. Which part of the female physique does Jeff eyes gravitate towards? Front or the back side? Ideal casting for a Joker role. Oh my God. All of it? I just all of it. It just depends. There's beauty in everything. So that's the cleanest YouTube answer I can get. We talked about it over on Patreon with Dion, how he wants to plow Lena Dunham. And I just ripped into him for 40 minutes. I can't forgive. She's so... Come on, Dion. You're my best friend. Have some self-respect, dude. It all just depends, Chortle Games, on what's more ample. So there's the nicest, cleanest answer I can give you, because I know we have younger listeners now. But I'll tell you later on. I'll tell you later in the night when I drink. How's that? But I gave you the honest answer. It just depends on what's bigger. Let's see. Ideal casting for the Joker. Oh man, not Jared Leto. Joaquin Phoenix could be good. I don't know, depending on what they're trying to do with it. See, I like Nicholson's Joker, where he's funny and zany. Heath Ledger's Joker kind of ruined it for the future of Joker casting. So an actor that I watch regularly that could be the Joker. I mean, if you go old, the Willem Dafoe meme is good. I like that one. He's got the facial structure, and he can act. But whenever I hear that voice, I'll think of the Green Goblin. No one says no to me, and shit like that. So that's going to be a hard sell on Willem Dafoe for my psyche, because I've seen Spider-Man 150 times probably. I used to watch that movie every day and draw. That's what I would do my summers of 2003 before high school. Pre-football practice and Spider-Man. That was my shit. Let's see. Dia Brando. Caitlyn Jenner's playing Dragnito. Maybe Ethan could draw that comic, Dragnito. The X-Man. Was that too mean? I don't care. Anthony Mata, thank you very much for a very generous super chat. Thank you, Jeff, for another very entertaining week. Anthony Mata, I appreciate all the kind words in that chat, as well as all the kind words from everybody. Now, Anthony, there's only one problem. The week is not over here on World Class Bullshitters. We don't really start on Monday. We're not a Monday through Friday show. We're a Tuesday through Saturday type of show. So, folks, as I close this stream out, the Pwee, okay, you didn't miss it. Crap. Thank you, the Pwee. See, I'm catching on. I remember you guys. I listen, I pay attention, I do a little research. Remember, when I learn something, I like to learn. So when you guys teach me something, I follow it so I can make it part of my pop culture repertoire. But no, folks, tonight we're going to be back with American Psycho. I think that'll be maybe 9:30, 9 o'clock. I'll get an exact time from Nick and Kendo, and I'll make sure that we post that here on the channel so you guys can find it. By the way, at 11:30, so in 90 minutes, the new Star Wars video is going to drop, the toy video, Star Wars Toy Graveyard, where the Force goes to die. So we need to make sure that we can become searchable in that YouTube algorithm. So watch it, share it, post about it on social media, use the hashtag WCBS, just get it out there and let as many people see. I feel like we have the ability to get another million viewed video. I don't know what a million viewed video is. This isn't Pokemon, but let's get that out there. Let's get the word spread, and then come back for American Psycho. And then tomorrow, Star Wars fan films at 8 o'clock, 11:30 at night. We're going to do the thing. So if Star Wars isn't your bag, baby, come back for the thing. We're going to be talking about sci-fi, horror, John Carpenter, the 80s, all kinds of stuff. It's a really fun weekend planned here on the channel. So if you guys want to get involved with that, let me know. And whoever contacted me, your name escapes me right now, about the thing commentary, you know who you are. I will have you on Saturday night. So make sure you bring your A game, my friend, and be prepared. Final question: who is a better villain, Defoe's Green Goblin or Jack Nicholson as the Joker, and who wins in a fight? Better villain, I'm going to go with Jack Nicholson. Who wins in a fight? The Green Goblin. He beat the shit out of Spider-Man. The Joker didn't really beat much on Batman. He tricked him. And then he also has those pumpkin bombs that turn people into skeletons. So all you got is some gas, or you got high technology with the Green Goblin. So yes, may the muff be with you, chat. Thank you to everyone. Mondi, I appreciate that. Thank you to Adam Shawhan. I guess I'll be seeing you soon, my friend. Make sure you're ready to hang out. Admiral Piet / Aaron, thank you very much for a super chat. They need to have a live-action Joker voiced by Mark. I almost said that. I was thinking if you could just get somebody that looks like it and can act like the Joker, and you have Mark Hamill's voice, that would be awesome. only problem is, would people not be able to pay attention to the actor and they'd think solely about Mark Hamill, and then they would be, dissociate themselves from that. So they would draw them out of the movie. Thank you, Kamikaze Johnson. Thank you, Benobi. Thank you, Jordy. Thank you, Chris. Again, thank you, Admiral Piet. I do like the idea of Mark Hamill voicing a live-action Joker. I just don't know if it would work. Droids Lives Matter, thank you for making your day start with world-class bullshitters and me personally. And I'll be back to help you guys close it out tonight. So, Trent, if you're listening, you know how to contact me, dude. I'll be talking to you soon. Thanks to everybody. Have a good week, and we'll be back on Tuesday with Good Morning Pop Culture.